and welcome back to Indiepocalypse Radio, back with your either late night, early morning, your different period of time than it usually is show, which means I am also like all wound up and ready to go because I've been, hanging out all day. Instead of, I guess midday is not really that late at night, but anyhow, I'm not really that early, but we are here with a series of guests from the world of Indiepocalypse. Indiepocalypse, of course, being the monthly anthology of alternative games, is Indiepocalypse Radio, the radio companion piece to that show in which, hey, I just talk to people, and who is the I? The I is Andrew. But now we've got our first guest here, who you may know from not the newest, the second newest, or is it the newest? I've lost track of time. Time has lost meaning for me. A recent issue, Indiepocalypse 37 with Pool Friday. It's Bruno Medeiros. Bruno, how are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing pretty well.
Yes, it is the most recent one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Doing all right this wonderful evening here in Brazil.
Yes, I've got evening here too, but I've also got the threat of an impending snowstorm, which I don't think you probably have.
Oh shit! Oh no, it's summer here.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was done. I thought we were all through it all, but there is still one creeping. And I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping it's not, or it's not too bad that I lose power, but bad enough that work gets closed. That would be the dream version. But
yeah.
First up, I gotta know. You are one of the first of my more hands-on approach to Indiepocalypse, where I'm inviting way more people into the thing personally. But I have a question for you. Did you know what this thing was before I emailed you? Or you're like, hey, what is this weird thing? I don't remember from the email. You could have actually answered that question already.
I was really taken aback when I received your email, because I was like, I just saw that email. I was like, oh, what's this?
Okay.
And I was just like, digging in, like going, just like searching relentlessly about it, and I thought it was awesome.
I mean,
so it's like, sign me in.
Yes, the feeling is mutual, of course, which is why I fired off the email. But if you'll people find out later, hey, the root of that question and why I ask it of people. But if people are unfamiliar, how would you describe Pool Friday? What's your simple elevator pitch? You're on a convention floor explaining Pool Friday to someone in 30 seconds.
I would just describe it as like a dark comedy about having to work for an extremely sketchy company and just doing things on autopilot.
Yes.
And it's also like a love letter to, Game Maker games that I played as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, there is like, I feel like this generation coming up of game makers is like, I don't know how, feels like the first real indie generation, if that makes sense. Or feels like it has the potential to be the first real, like in terms of like how we think of other mediums as being indie, or I guess they always existed, but you see a lot more of them. It's more accessible to see like weirdo art that is like, oh right, games you can just be like a thing that you make, it just kind of does whatever you want it to do.
Yeah, I mean, I do really like, God, I just feel a bit awkward, but yeah, I do really love, seeing other people that are like weird art, like stuff that does come from a place of like, I guess like sort of like, I wouldn't really say nostalgia, but like familiarity.
Yes,
with, like stuff that we've been exposed to as kids, and now that we want to do this sort of stuff like nowadays. I don't know. At least I
Yeah.
feel like Pull Friday does come from that place.
Right. Because I think there is more of like having could have grown up with weird indie stuff on the internet, where which was like if you grew up 10, 15 years ago, it's harder. I trying to do the math in my head. You know what I mean? If you grew up a generation
Yeah.
back, it's harder to have, unless you had like early internet access. It was harder to just come across, fringe outsider art in games the same way. So people's like more nostalgic reference points do tend to be more like what they would buy for consoles.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, like, I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you.
No.
But
I'm
like,
easy to interrupt. If you're talking, just keep on talking.
no, it's okay. But like, I was basically like playing stuff like Revenge of the Sunfish and uh, Hubble and J Clover and Jack King Spooner games when I was like 11 or 12.
Right.
So I had like the really early exposure to those games because I just like remember going into this like indie game rabbit hole that all started off because I was just like some weird kid that watched like videos of like YouTubers who were like back in like 2013 when I was like 10 like Markiplier and PewDiePie who were just like playing these horror free indie games, and I just found out what Game Jolt was, and I fell into that rabbit hole, and I ended up stumbling across like the weird shit, like
Yeah.
like the collage games and like the even like some like very. I was just remembering about this game earlier today, which was like this really weird like Jeff the Killer fan game, which was it was like weird as hell because it was almost abstract
Yes. No.
in a sense. Like it was. I mean, have you ever like seen any like 3D games made using Game Maker?
I yes, but only by people who are very good at it.
Okay,
Yeah. So
because
I
like
think that's a
if,
little bit different sometimes. If maybe where you're going.
yeah, like a game like I'm Scared, which is made with Game Maker.
Yeah.
That's a good example. Now, the game that I'm thinking about, it was like the walls were just like scrappy as hell. The Jeff the Killer character was like just coming off of the screen like this weird way. You could see like the default Game Maker gray background and stuff. That was awesome to me when I was like 11.
Yeah,
I
think
was just like looking at that shit and I was like, oh, this is awesome.
yeah. I think there is like that charm to you. Like even if it's like you're like, oh, this isn't great sometimes, but like, oh no, but it's like the charm of a person made it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's like it just becomes more interesting to some degree because it's how you connect more with like to get high minded about it. You connect. It feels like you're more in conversation with the artist, whether that artist is clearly like very amateurish, but like it's fun also seeing confidence. A confidence in what they're doing, even
Yeah.
if like they don't nail their execution.
Yeah, I mean, like that's part of like what also made Pull Friday exist.
Yeah.
In two ways, I guess, because like these sorts of like weird indie games, and as well as like the stuff that's like that wasn't really trying to be like I guess weird on purpose, but ends up being weird because of the execution.
Yeah.
And stuff that's like deliberately strange, like Jake Clover games.
Yeah.
Those were big influences, but also like stuff like and Glorious Trainwrecks stuff as well. They were also like huge influences to Full Friday, because I was also I also found out about Glorious Trainwrecks at that same age, and I also thought that was awesome.
Yeah. No, this
And
is.
Bull Friday also came from like this place of just I wanted to make. So it was my thesis game,
Okay.
and the lore behind it was I basically had the entire year, the entirety of 2025 to work on my thesis project, and um, I think it might have been around like September or something that I just had like one idea after another, and none of them were going anywhere, and I just wanted to graduate as soon as possible. So I just remember like talking to my girlfriend and being like, oh shit, I don't want to, you know, have to keep working on this thesis project. I just want to do something. Then we had like this talk, and you know, she basically convinced me to do this project. Just go for it. And I
Right.
just remember that like a few hours later, I just wrote like this little short story with some ideas that I had, just compiling them, and that turned into Pool Friday. And then I just started like improvising a
Yeah.
lot of stuff later on.
Yeah, I think there's like more room for like improv in games, of just like, okay,
Absolutely.
I know how to make a guy walk. Like I have the base thing of I can walk around and I can trigger events. What can I do in the margins? What can I start to build around? Because I think it can be like, you know, where the default is to build a good loop or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, and which is like a kind of game design I also enjoy, but it gets too mired in being like the only kind of game design, uh,
Yeah.
rather than like, especially like depending on what like university programs you're doing. Like game university programs are also like completely all over the place.
I did I just graduated in like animation. I
Right,
don't
right.
have my bachelor's degree yet, but we'll be having real soon. But yeah, it was and it was weird that I ended up choosing to make a game because I did do like a year or so of like game design stuff. But I was just, I think my mind was too much on like, maybe, I might not really want to make games and stuff, and this is might limit some of the stuff I want to make, because I was really, watching. I was really coming from a place where I really wanted to make films
Yeah.
instead of games, in spite of having played all that stuff when I was a kid, and so I just decided to do animation instead. But I ended up choosing to make a game because it's just like, okay, maybe because I wasn't really making a lot of short films, and also I watched Inland Empire, and I was like, okay, so Lynch wasn't really a cinephile or anything as far as I'm concerned, but he still made like these really like you know super like radical films like Inland Empire, and
Yeah.
without having like this sort of I wouldn't say like necessarily like know how, but close enough, I guess, of
Right.
all this like he was just making as like films were his vehicle of expression, I guess.
Yes.
So I was inspired by that,
Yeah, because I think
and
you can get bogged down by thinking you need to know everything. uh,
yeah,
when it's
or
like,
tie into like stuff like oh sorry.
no, no, go ahead.
And also, like you said, like I guess, like being also tied down by stuff like thinking about game loops
Right,
and
right.
mechanics and stuff.
Yeah, because really, just like uh, playing a game is the mechanic. Uh,
Yeah,
that the idea of games requiring obstacles is, I think, going to be like a more antiquated notion with time. Like that's just going to be like a type of game, in the same way that all mediums are not like one thing.
yeah,
Not not all music requires large orchestras.
yeah. And
And
like this is also something that I brought up in my thesis, because I also had to do like a written part,
yeah.
and I also brought up a lot of flat games, and trying to contextualize also some of Jake Glover's stuff into the flat game category, even though by like the more orthodox definition of a flat game, you know, Jake's games do their own thing, and I still do think they're kind of like very much their own distinct thing, but there's a
Right.
lot of that as well. And I do like games where like walking is the mechanic
Yeah.
and the main thing that's going on. Like another game aside from the Jake Glover games that were like huge. It's also like a huge inspiration for Full Friday was the La La Land games by Biggs, and those I don't know if you've played those games, but they're like these super short like game maker games from like 2006,
I'm like,
and and like there's one of the fifth game in the series is very. I really like that game because it's like this really like anti-religious, like very critical of I think evangelicism type of thing, which
yeah.
also really resonates with me as a Brazilian, seeing how the evangelical church spread in here. But it's like this game where uh, you're like this Bible salesman sort of character. You're throwing Bibles on the heads of these fish head looking creatures, and at the end of and you just walk, and you know the it's all about really the atmosphere, and how he's working with sound and image.
Yeah.
That's really how it like that game to me really the impact of that game is on that the how he's working with those sorts of things, and that's also something that I really wanted to make with Bull Friday, because most of the game is just walking, and I really wanted to make something that was also about the atmosphere and just
Yeah, because and it's something I had encountered a lot more when I was um, showing when I was tabling at PAX East at one point, because I would have a demo station up of like the most recently commissioned game, which was a game where you were just walking around, but that obviously does not as does not define like what the texture and what the game actually is served very little by saying what you do in it, you know like
yeah
especially like how much of like Pool Friday, for instance, gets explained by saying what you do in it. Like, oh, you walk
yeah
around and you go to work, but that doesn't like get to the core of like the experience of it, which I think is a trickiness of games that where like you were running into like is it a flat game technically? I don't know, technically not, but like it's just like where we lack language around games, uh, for specificity like that sometimes, because there's a
yeah
the
being this like oh sorry
no, I was just saying the more like art game side of games is existed, basically since games have existed, but it's more disjointed and more less cohesive. I think a lot about in terms of like the outside observer. If I'm just a random guy and I'm like, hey, let me check out this art game thing. Like, where do you get started? You know, how do you figure it out?
yeah yeah and I also do think that I mean I kind of hesitate like considering Pool Friday an art game.
Right.
In fact, I don't really want it to feel that way, because I do think it's a deeply unserious game.
Yes. Yes. No.
In
I don't.
spite of
Yes. And I don't use the word art to mean serious at the same time. you know.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
because like sometimes I do see like the term art game being paired up with stuff like serious games
Yes.
and stuff, and to me like Bull Friday is like extremely unserious, and I don't
Yes.
really want it to be like this artsy walking simulator where I'm just like this is basically a game where it's just like it would be funny if I made like this horrific villain character, and he's just like this I guess like this sort of like new Hollywood inspired villain in terms of like dialogue and stuff,
Yeah.
and maybe just put this like this massive penis in one of the scenes where he's at, because I just thought that was going to be fun.
Yes, yeah,
Like a
that,
lot of Pull Friday was just made because I wanted to make something that was just kind of dumb and funny.
yeah.
But
It runs to the problem where games we lack the language for like what the alternatives. I mean, alternative would just be the good word for it, but it doesn't get used. I think enough
yeah,
to
it's.
really use it. But what is
I
that?
mean, it's. No,
Uh,
go on. Go on. Sorry.
I think it was on the show last week, maybe where or maybe it was a different conversation I was having where someone was talking about how the word like in music, for instance, like indie carries like a value to it, um, like it's not just like it's not just a like a budget qualifier. It's like in whether the term itself is muddy, but like it carries like an artistic quality to it, or like a value, like an
Yeah,
intent
it's
to it.
like. Yeah, like it does. It does have like I don't know, like indie rock does have like its own distinct sound
Yes.
and stuff. And I guess like I don't know, maybe I could just pair up like Pull Fridays like this alternative game, I guess, but it's kind of like a weird game
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
me to like really like comfortably put it into, because to me at points it kind of feels like an interactive short film as well,
Yeah.
because but I also do consider it to be a comfortably within like a game, but
Yeah. And I use the
I
term game
just
very loosely. Like I'm not
I
a
think like one
yeah.
of the games. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I was just gonna say that like the game that I'm currently making is that I'm calling Poop Friday as well, which is like if it's a bit gamier, I
Yeah.
guess, because it starts off with a traditional game loop and stuff, but there will be lots of walking because I really do like walking simulators and just games where you just go back and forth, you know, across lots of different places.
Right.
Uh, but yeah,
And
Poop Friday is also going to be about work, and it's called Poop Friday because the mini game that I'm working on right now is about having to work for this AI company and eating the machine's feces.
yeah, of course. The I mean, hey, at least you still got a job under AI. That's the dream to keep those.
Hell yeah! I
um,
mean, it does involve what it involves, but it's still a job.
hey, you know, I
In this
have
economy.
in this economy, I'll take a job.
Hmm.
And then no one's asking, no one's asking the tough question of, these things, these automations will free up this automation. One person do the job of 10. It's like, well, what happened to those other 9 people that you're paying, and you clearly could afford to pay them? Where is that money going now? Huh? It's gonna pay those people to stay home
Well,
now, right? Yeah. I have 2 questions for you. 2 crucially important Indiepocalypse radio
yes.
questions. Um, that have become parts of the show. First up, hey, what's your favorite type of rock?
Rock. Rock. As in stones, music. I can give you
That
so
it is
as far as
is your
stones
interpretation.
are. Okay, so I guess I like all rocks to me are important
Okay.
in some way, shape, or form. And as far as rock, the genre is concerned, I do like uh, stuff like Swans a lot.
Okay.
I think like Swans was like the maybe like the first like band that I ever heard that I was just like, oh yeah, this is awesome.
Right.
That was just like fully like in the position was like, oh shit, this band rules and this is the greatest thing ever. So yeah, rocks.
Perfect. Um, and second question, unrelated second question. Hey, do you have a favorite Toho character?
Oh shit, no, because I've only played like 5 full minutes of Toho.
That's fine. That's you're not required to have a favorite character, but even playing 5 full minutes does technically put you leagues ahead of a lot of people on this show. So, um, but it is not a required. That's why it's a do, not a what.
My life.
Um, with that said, hey Bruno,
Oh,
thanks for joining me here today.
thank you. Thanks for having me.
No, glad to have you. We're going to go on a break right now, and we'll be back in about a minute 27. Uh, Goodbye until then. Hello, and welcome back to Indiepocalypse Radio. That was Aggie with The Pains of Being Stupid at Heart. Oops, I went to the wrong thing. Now I'm on the right thing. Um, we are here with the second guest of the show, who is, I was going to say, 72, okay. I was worried it was going to be in a
the
thing.
last one.
The last one. I was like, oh, just happened. And a lot of times when I think just happened, it was like 6 months ago. But this time it was something that just happened. The commission game from Indiepocalypse number 72, Small Pond is Cassowary. Hey, how you doing today?
Hi, I'm pretty good. Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's
Having a chill day.
yes. And as a another variation on the hey, how did you find this thing? Considering you were also asked to make a thing for this thing, did you know what the thing was before it asked you? I would say
Yes.
before I'd run into you in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the story here is that. So I actually did know what it was.
Okay.
Because I have a lot. I've been putting games on itch.io for a while.
Yes, which makes you've got the page style of my favorite commission does, which is a lot of short games.
It's kind of the perfect format. Yeah. But you have that collection, I think, on itch that you
yes.
add things to or whatever.
Yeah,
and
it's like
mentions the Indiepocalypse zine. And so then I happened to be at PAX West, and I saw your booth. It's not really a booth.
It was
whatever.
it was a table.
The stands,
Yeah.
a table, things that people set up at PAX.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I've seen this or something. And then you emailed me later, I think, about it.
Yeah, because he was like, oh yeah. It's also 90% of the time when people know what Indiepocalypse is because they are game developers.
Right. Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
So I was like, oh wait a minute, and all the times I looked at them, I was like, oh wait a minute, and it was one of those things where a lot of times like with like covers or commissioned games, it is like somebody was in front of me, it put them right in the front of my brain.
Right, you're like, I can remember this.
Yes, and then I'm going to email them and get them on board. And if
yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was a nice like thing because it sort of gave me like a deadline to make like a bigger project, which I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I found sometimes it's nice to have like a thing that says, oh, you got to make something by now or by this time.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of times people will like use it for like, oh, I was just finishing up something, and that gives me a good, or something that's like 90% of the way done. That gives me a good reason to finish it,
Yeah, for sure. I did make this like game like mostly from scratch during the period. I had drawn, I don't remember why, but I drew this little frog character like a long time ago, like a couple of years ago. And I was like, this is a really good sprite. I got to use this for something.
Yes, I got to say, as more video games have frogs in them, I'm becoming more of a frog snob.
Yeah.
I think frogs should be weird little guys. I don't like when frogs start getting too cute. I start side eyeing those frogs.
Right. Yeah. No, they got to be. So yeah, I don't know. The very dapper
Yeah.
little cube of a frog. Um, but so I'd been sitting on that for a while, and I had kind of this like idea in my head, I guess, of like making a game that like worked like this.
Right.
But I had never like I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. So it was a nice. I was like, oh, I'll just like kind of do that because a lot of my
Yeah.
historically my game making process is to kind of like copy paste my previous game and make a new game that's sort of based on that,
That's
which is
like
how I've kind of
it's a smart way of developing.
yes. You build and you can build up like you can keep the parts that worked and
Yeah.
then get rid of the parts that didn't work. But then so I've been in kind of a long string of like puzzle games because I have like a way. I've been doing most of my recent games have been for Ludum Dare, um, and I have kind of like a way of doing that I've like worked out. Um, so it was nice to get this like a longer chunk of time that like had a deadline, and I was like, I'm gonna do something that's like a little bit different from my normal
Right.
thing, kind of.
And we've been dancing around this whole time. If people are unfamiliar, how would you describe to them Small Ponds?
Small Ponds is it's like a puzzle platformer. And you're a little frog in a suit, and it's like there's a bunch of different levels that you can do any level in any order, and you're trying to like go into the level and um get the diamond, and then you have to bring the diamond like back to the start,
Yes.
basically.
And like I like the idea of the back to the start retread kind of thing. Um, if anyone's ever played what's it called, Boktai,
Oh, I haven't.
it does a very good version of that, but in also like in what feels like a very Kojima style of like you kill vampires. So like you have to go into the the inner sanctum of it. After you defeat the boss, you have to drag the coffin all the way back out to like the sunlight.
Yeah. I think what am I
Yeah.
saying? I think an inspiration for me in this game was kind of Cave Story,
Yes.
because a
Okay.
lot of Cave Story levels are like structured kind of like that too. You like teleport into the level, and then you have to like go down to the end of the level and do something, and then you have to come back, and it's like a different kind of challenge. I don't know if I like entirely. I don't. This is like my first time making a platformer game,
Right. Right.
so I would like to do more of them because I think that that my level design or whatever could
Yeah.
definitely like improve.
Hey, but
Like, a
now
lot of the
you've got that
some-
framework.
Now I have a thing. Now I'm gonna copy and paste this game and
Yes.
make like a million games. You know?
Right. Right. That's the beauty of game development. Like
Yeah.
the very little tiny bits of game development I've done during this project, I have like it's just me building out little scripts
Yeah.
to do different
You
things.
that is maybe something that's kind of unique about whatever games as like an art form, right?
Yeah.
You can't write a bunch of books by like copy and pasting your
Right.
previous book.
But-
And,
I was listening to a podcast where somebody was talking about they got an email from someone who had worked on the recent Doctor Dolittle movie, and I guess there's a dragon in that movie. And they said they didn't have a dragon, so they had to find a dragon. This is a CG dragon, and it made me realize, oh yeah, you can just
yeah, I
like
guess you can kind of do, yeah.
in some cases, like in movies to some degree, like you can. It's like, oh right, you can raise CG or like way people used to raise like what's in the Fox prop closet or whatever that we can repurpose
Yeah.
into this weird alien.
I feel like I have like the opposite thing going on, kind of like I really like drawing like the new like sprites
Yeah.
and stuff and writing new songs and stuff for every game, but I don't like making a new like engine
Right.
or whatever because there's always bugs. It's just
Yes.
annoying.
Right. That is the not fun part of making games most of the time is
Yeah.
like
So having like a thing that you can work based on in that regard is fun. But then you just get to draw all the little guys every time, which
Yeah.
is fun. I don't know. I feel like that's like I appreciate game development because it captures a lot of things that I like doing. Kind of like I like drawing the thing. I like picking the color palette. I like doing the music. I like doing like the rules of the
Yeah.
game too. Um, and I like thinking of I like coming up with like a pixel art style and then
Yes.
doing a bunch of things in that style, kind of. Um, like I did one game where I did everything with only two colors and then changed the colors every level or whatever. Like that was like I stuff like that is kind of fun.
Yeah, right,
But
right. Giving
yeah,
yourself like these, because you get all like, the busy work out of the way.
right.
It gives you more time to like think about, well, what is the game that I want to make? Not like, imagine making a song and having to like rebuild a keyboard every time.
Right. Yeah. Um but then I do tend to like write a lot of the stuff, the like background stuff
Right.
myself, because then like I j- I don't know how to use Unity or whatever.
Right.
And I do work as a programmer, so like I can kind of just write like a whatever. But like writing a web game is like writing a web page or whatever. It's but whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's just adding more
uh,
rules to the design of web design.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know if I had a point, but that's
That's the
that's
beauty of the
it.
show is we don't need to have points. I often will find myself down a path and go, I don't know where that was going.
Yeah.
But um, yeah, because you do make do and have made a lot of games in like a short amount of time. That is like these sort of like the hobbyist space that we were talking about in the first segment that
Mhm.
is it has existed for like a long time, but doesn't have like doesn't feel cohesive or like, but like
Yeah.
in the same way that maybe indie and other mediums can sometimes feel cohesive from the outside, but
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
no, go ahead. You
I was just gonna say, so I grew up playing a lot of Flash games,
Yeah.
um, which was maybe like the last time that kind of felt like a coherent set of things.
Yes, that, like
Maybe
any that.
because of like Flash as like a medium or whatever, like had like lent itself well to like a particular style, and there were like communities based around it and stuff. And then that kind of fell apart. And
Yes.
like itch.io maybe is like starting to put something like that actually, but I don't know. It's been especially browser games. I make a lot of browser games, and
Yeah.
browser games have really been lost in the woods for like a solid decade.
Right,
Like,
and they're starting to come back.
yeah, I hope so. But
'Cause-
yeah,
yeah, because when I think about this, it's always like game developers will always find these games, but I think about like
yeah,
when you think of Flash, like that really highlights. Oh, that's also when like just any like as a youth in my bedroom, not thinking about making games. My friends and I all played Flash games. We still
right. Like normies.
yes,
knew about
normies.
Flash games. Yeah,
In the same way that I think they're not going to itch.io or like not going to itch.io
no,
to the same degree.
yeah. Itch.io is more itch.io is more insular. Maybe
Yes.
is the term. Like it's a lot of which I think it's cool.
Right.
Like and like the sort of structure of like a lot of stuff gets made for game jams and stuff too, where it's like that's cool, and I think that's a great way to like build community and like make friends and with people who
Yeah.
are I love game jams. I do game jams all the time.
Right.
But your audience in those is primarily other game developers.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah.
like scrolling through the comments of some of your games, like, oh yeah, here know them, past contributors, or
Yeah.
they become familiar names, but it's like also like, oh, how do other random people find this?
Yeah, I don't know. I've thought about this too, and I don't really know.
Yeah, I haven't
I
figured
don't
that
know
out
what the
either.
solution is, but I can just keep. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah,
Because at this point, like I don't know. I started because I grew up playing Flash games, and I also grew up making Flash games
right.
because my dad gave me a copy of like a really old version of Flash when I was like 10, and was like, "Here, figure this out." uh, and so I've been doing this for a really long time. Now this is just like my hobby. Like
Yeah,
I just sort of find it fun to put these things
yeah,
together.
yeah. No,
So I'm not. Yeah,
I truly love like the hobbyist space and like the commercialization and like needing to make money kills art can kill art for so many people, you know.
yeah. And there's so much stuff out there that's like don't like in indie games that's like don't make the game that you want to make. Make what the market wants or whatever. You
Right.
know, there's all this like how to market your game kind of thing.
Or like,
Like
how to make sure how to pitch your game so it's worth this YouTuber's time or fits into their audience. And that's,
yeah. But also like then it's like hard to feel like people are going to care like that. I
yeah,
mean, apparently that works. You know, like it's hard
yeah.
to like.
But
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
it asks the question like at one point like sure you're selling a project and you're selling a product and you have a job. I also have a job, you know.
Right, right. Like I already have a job. I what you know.
Right. I'm
Yeah,
sure I'm sure there are plenty of game developers who could just knuckle down, make their Vampire Survivors or
yeah,
their cozy farming game, their whatever,
yeah. They're roguelite
their
deck
buckshot
builder.
roulette, whatever is the flavor
Yeah,
of the month. You know, they could make theirs
yeah,
and get whatever a decent amount. I'm sure, but doesn't mean like they want to.
yeah. Well, and also like a lot of those. I mean, those can be like I don't want to be like
Yes.
but uh, I think that a lot of times people have this idea that by like following that trend, they're going to like find success like because like whatever all those games, cozy farming sim, roguelite deck builder, Vampire Survivors are after a game that came out and hit it big because it was different from what
Right.
was already out there, you know?
Or like
Like
familiar, but like enough years later. You know.
right, like you can make a game that's like Stardew Valley, but you can't make Stardew Valley by making Stardew Valley again or
Right.
whatever, you know?
Right.
Um
Because and that is even like
yeah.
and listen, I'll say this on the show as someone who played a lot of enjoyed Stardew Valley. There's nothing new in Stardew Valley that wasn't in Harvest Moon for like decades.
Right. Yeah.
It's just right place, right
But
time.
right place, right time. Yeah. Well, and a lot of that stuff is like that too.
Yeah.
Uh but like that is done now.
Yes, it already came
You
out.
know, like you have to do something. I mean, you like maybe there's people who play all the cozy farming games and they'll like that, and that's fine. And there should be people who, but like, um, if you want to make, like, I think that people have, I don't know, I don't know exactly how to put this into words.
Yeah.
Without, because I don't want to sound like I'm like telling people they're terrible or something.
Right. I mean,
Um,
and that's. I think that's just like the internet has broken our brain, you know,
yeah, right.
to where like saying, "Oh, I have an opinion on art," and that opinion I need to make sure that it applies to all people, so they don't get mad at me.
Right. But yeah, but I think that there's a lot of, because I don't want to like accuse people of being like cynical or whatever,
Yes.
because I think that there are a lot of people who like play Stardew Valley or whatever and are really like inspired by it
Yeah.
and want to make, and like I think that's great. Um but it's when that choice of thing is more like marketing driven, I guess, it feels like it isn't even really accomplishing the goal that the marketing driven thing is setting out to
Yeah.
accomplish.
Right.
Like,
Right.
yeah.
It's where
Like, if you want to create that breakout hit or whatever, you should try and do something that everyone else isn't also doing.
right, and or like because or or if you are following, I guess you're just like hoping like I can make. I was posting one of the rare posts I made this weekend or this last week for this show or for something else. One of the things I saw was like blueprints dev. I don't know if I can do 80. I worked 80 hours for 8 straight years, and
Right.
I'm like, my dude, where did you get that? Where do you get 8 hours in a week? Like, I think we have. Just like indie dev, like the big successes are 90% of the time they have that story behind them of, oh yeah, I didn't work a job for 7 years. I just worked on my game
Right.
double full time.
Yeah. Yeah. Because especially with stuff like that, it's so easy to and this is maybe to bring it back around to what we were saying at the beginning. This is why like having a deadline and stuff can be so helpful.
Yeah.
Because it forces you to think about, and this is why so many of my game releases are Game Jam or Ludum Dare things, because it sort of forces you to scope in a way that you're actually going to make the game and release it and finish it. And you have to sort of mercilessly be like, well, I can't make something like that. I'm going to cut that, or whatever.
Yeah. We have a weird thing where culturally, art is a weird thing because it is like incompatible with capitalism in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but also well, I do agree. Like, there's not like room for like commercialization is kind of inherently at odds with like making a good
or when you think about like, oh yeah, I made a game. Okay, yes, it did well. It's like, okay, well, I have to live 60 more years. Wait, I keep making games?
Yeah. Yeah, right. And like you're only gonna get older. Like, but like, I also think that to sort of flip it around, almost like you can't like you always are going to have to like make like sacrifices from your perfect vision or whatever. Like on the other hand, like it's so tempting to like do everything and then never actually finish anything.
An imperfect thing that's done is better a million years than a perfect thing that never gets finished.
Yes.
And because also nothing's perfect,
Right. Yes. Yeah. Right. It's a futile kind of thing to aim for anyway.
It's like what does perfect even mean? Like perfect by like a standard that like enough people like it. Like what it does. Like it's a thing that doesn't mean anything ultimately.
Right. And it's like, and the vision that you have in your head is never going to be realized perfectly because the vision you have in your head is like probably kind of vague and maybe impossible.
Yeah.
And probably not like once you actually start putting it together, you realize all the little tiny annoying things that don't work about it and you have to change it, and then you finish it and you're like, oh, this sucks now. But then everyone else doesn't see what you were thinking about when you made it. Like
that's the beauty of it. It's the great trick of art. And like even like if you want to get in the purity gritty of art is like code even is like nobody sees that, so it doesn't have to be perfect code even. Is like it just needs to work.
I have a sort of like theory that I think a lot of people come to game development from being programmers and try to like engineer like the perfect game or whatever. And like you don't usually need all that stuff. Like you can just make the game. Like
yes.
And I'm kind of the opposite in that I learned programming from doing games at a relatively young age. So I think my like my skills as a normal programmer are probably not the best, but it does lend itself well to this kind of thing because it's like I don't know, you can just write all your code in a you don't have to I don't know, you don't have to go, you just don't have to do it.
Right. I will, if I need to use something 2 or 3 times, I guess I'll just have to revisit and clean it up. But like if I'm using something that needs to happen once.
Yeah, the small pawns thing, like there's like a lot of things that are just like
how many
because the game is only so big and I don't have to change it after I finish the game.
Yes.
So like it's like this one needs to tell this one that I don't know. There's a lot of things that are just
How
like
many
global variables.
How
where
many
it just,
right?
I
How many
just-
global
it just touches
variables?
it over there.
How many
Yeah.
Boolean statements can I duct tape together to make this thing work?
Yeah.
And then like, does it work? Yep, good enough.
Right. Like, yeah, I don't know. And obviously you do have to have some kind of like sense of quality because
Yeah.
otherwise it will break and
Yes.
fall over
Right,
eventually.
right.
But like if you're going to make it bigger, you have to plan kind of, or strategize about how to do that. But I think some people come to it treating it like it's like normal I guess software development has a different, like you're going to want to update it later and you're gonna
Right.
it
And
just
you're
has
and
all
you're
these
probably
different-
not working on it alone.
Right, yeah. So you have different, I don't know, it's just a different kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the same for all parts of game. Like writing music for games is different from writing music as a music.
Right.
Or making art for games is different from making, like, I don't know.
Because
it's
you're right,
kind of its own.
because they're all like parts of a larger piece rather than like
Yeah,
because software is programming by itself.
right.
Art is art by itself. Music, but
Yeah.
games are all these things just kind of jammed together.
Right, and I think that's what a thing that's very interesting to me about games is that sort of like total aesthetic experience,
Right.
or whatever. Like that you can make it all yourself and jam it all together, and it like becomes more than the sum of its parts. in a
Yeah.
way that I find is interesting.
And like I guess it's like game development is a weirder component, like a individual skill to take around like to other things. Like if you were made music, it's easier to make music for different things. It's like less of
Right.
like a singular skill, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, this kind of always comes around. Like this is, I think that another reason that I gravitate towards making games is that I really like learning new skills.
Right.
But I don't know if I personally super value like becoming really good at one skill.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like with a game, it's great because I can write a bunch of music and make a bunch of pictures and write a bunch of code, and it doesn't all have to be great. But as long as it's all like pretty good,
Yeah.
it's still like cool,
Right,
Like,
'cause
and like I can do it all, and I don't know, it's interesting.
It is, yeah, and it's like it all complements itself, and it's interesting because I do think sometimes where if you would say like a pretty good musician could probably do music for like a band or like get hired for a game soundtrack or a film soundtrack, but I wonder how many like someone's like, oh, they're a pretty good game developer, but could they get hired for like programming? Sometimes like
Right.
those skills don't transfer in the same way.
Yeah.
Because it's this weird Frankenstein skill for a lot of solo developers.
Right. And like I've become pretty good at doing like sprite pixel art and
Right.
stuff over the years, but like I don't like there's a lot of like art fundamental skills that I'm still kind of lacking, I think, because like I just learned it by doing what you need to do to make a game.
Right. You picked up the skills you need to pick up in the moment.
Yeah.
And I guess we're reaching the end of here, but that means I have a couple questions for you that you've had a little bit of time to
Okay.
prepare for. Hey, what's your favorite type of rock?
I do like indie rock.
Okay.
And also those rocks, when you're, maybe this is only a thing here, but when you're on the beach and it's like a rocky beach and there's those little rocks that are like dark gray, but they have like a white line on them.
Okay, you are getting very specific.
Sorry, I know.
No, that's good. That's good.
I think it's like, I don't know what those are called, but I really like those. We have a lot of those here.
Let me see if I can find it with gray rock, white line. Exploring gray rocks with white lines, a comprehensive guide. This is probably
Yeah, it's like oh, it probably is AI.
That is probably
totally
AI.
a thing. Google Images has some good examples. If
Yes.
you search for gray rock with white line. I really like that kind of rock.
My 6-year-old son wants to know why this gray rock has white lines. Found in backyard, SoCal.
Maybe it's a West Coast thing. I don't know.
Maybe they're all coming from all these rocks coming from the Pacific.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I am looking and I do know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, like rocks. What's going on with these things? Why do they have those?
Yeah.
And second follow-up question. Hey, do you have a Toho character?
No, I have not played Toho.
Great. That is allowed, permitted. But hey, Toho is pretty cool, and there are a lot of.
Yeah, maybe I'll check it out.
I always recommend people check out Toho's, even if they're like Bullet Hills. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Thriving fan game scene that has all sorts of things.
Yeah,
in
I
it.
think that is neat. I haven't played it, but I have seen that kind of like people. I like that kind of like open fan world kind of thing that they have going on.
Yeah, it's a very cool approach. That's why I love the question, because I like people go, hey, what's Toho? And I get to go, hey, here's what Toho is. It's a cool thing.
Yeah.
Just like a cool series of bullet hells if you're into those, and then outside of that, just a neat, interesting approach to like handling art, and like ownership and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind of a unique thing.
It's also a giant part of games that also feels weirdly invisible a lot of the times, despite being like one of the most massive things in games ever made.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's interesting. It's like a franchise, but it's not like a franchise that's
right.
like owned by
it's a franchise like one guy does.
Yeah.
Well, Cassowary, thank you for joining me here today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you. We're going to go on break for about a minute with our next guest, who was in issue 71 of Indiepocalypse with Notice. Is Jake Berry. Jake, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic.
Yes,
I've had my coffee.
Yes.
Is my mic working?
Your mic is working perfectly.
Are we locked in? Perfect. It is midday.
Yeah.
In Australia.
That's why we've got this late night East Coast show for our Aussie friends.
That's sick. You're in Massachusetts, right?
Yes.
Okay, I think that's the first time I've said that correctly.
Yeah. It's fun learning that it's like a weird word, or for a difficult word for people to say. All right,
I'm gonna go ahead and try and spell it now.
Okay. Go.
M.
Yeah.
A.
Yep.
S.
Yep.
Mass. Okay, don't tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go start to M.
Okay. Yeah.
M-A-S-A. Massa. C-H-U. Oh man, this is the part. I can't just say S-I-T-S, right? Sits?
Jake, you're wrong.
I would be terribly wrong on that.
Yes.
I've spelled that out in my computer. I'm looking at it. That's
M-A-S-S-A-C-H-U-S-E-T-T-S. That is
TTS.
TTS.
Oh my god, the double T.
Yeah, no, that
English is a difficult language.
Well, the thing is, it is not English derived, not fully English derived.
It's American derived.
It's Native American derived.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Of the Massachusetts people, that lived in this area before, those settlers came in and kind of made their way in, as they're wont to do.
That's it.
But
wow. Massachusetts.
Yeah. But it was. I remember there being a time on. At one point in our life, we bought a box of random anime off of Right Stuff RIP for like $30 because we thought it would be funny. And one of the jokes.
What?
What was that?
You bought a random box off of what?
And Right Stuff. It was a good place if you want to buy manga and anime, maybe figures. I don't know. I never did that kind of thing. I also didn't really buy anime.
I'm out of the
very
loop
often.
on this one.
But
Right Stuff.
It was US based.
I see. Okay.
It was one of those things, got bought by Crunchyroll, as corporations tend to consume things and kind of make them worse. But the long way around that was it. There was a character in one of the shows that had gone to MIT, and the joke was that they had a hard time saying Massachusetts. The Massachusetts
There's
Institute of Technology.
far too many. Yeah, right. Wow. Yeah, there's far too many American states that I feel like I wouldn't be able to remember or pronounce.
Yeah,
So,
there's a lot of them. We got too many
Yeah.
of these. We got a lot of these things. It makes
Yeah,
our
like,
country very weird.
that would be hard as well. Like growing up in America, having to remember every single state.
Yeah.
So, I'm just, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that.
No.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. No. No need to. I mean, there's a lot to. Anyway, America. What a country.
America, huh?
Yeah. And then I think it was also I was watching at one point one of the iterations of Guymont Spelling Bee, and it was one of the hard questions to spell. And I was like, I got this, dude. I could nail that. It's funny too. It's funny too. But this all aside, my state aside. Hey, how'd you find Indiepocalypse?
How do they find Indiepocalypse?
Yes.
I found it through. Now I know you guys have had like other Australian game
Yes.
developers here.
So this is the Australian daisy chain, the daisy chain of
That's
Australian
it.
developers.
Yeah, I listened to the one with Bora because Bora's my great friend.
Yeah.
Barnacle,
Yes.
I think is the gamer team.
It is, yes.
And I only found out Bora was in it after I was in it, and Bora came up to me and was like, "Oh, hey, you're in Indiepocalypse." I'm like, "What?" And then I kind of went down the rabbit hole, and because Reese Williams got
Yes.
me into it. I don't know if yeah.
I
So
think Reese has
there's
also been on the
Reese,
show, I believe.
and yeah, really. And then because I'm good mates with Reese. Reese is from the Sydney scene. I've
Yeah.
been like back and forth
Yes,
between Melbourne and Sydney.
he was
for the
telling
last
me
6 years,
on
so-
this show itself, like the difference in vibes between the Sydney and where Sydney is more of like, as a city, is more of a business city,
Yeah,
compared to Melbourne, which is a little bit more of an arts town, I guess.
yeah. People are like pretend to be a bit more chill in Melbourne and drink coffee and be hipsters and stuff.
Right.
But it's all a front. I've been there. I've lived there. They're all nerds. But I will return hopefully in the next however long. I went there to study right after high school to
Right.
Melbourne. So I've grown up in Sydney, and then I went to Melbourne to study. And right after my degree finished, I moved back to Sydney to hang out with my family because I missed them and my dog as well, and my childhood friends. It's been really good being here this year, but I feel like I'm a man with no place to
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
back to.
No, I am
Melbourne
also,
or Sydney, which will it be?
I am likewise. I think without a country, partially because of this project, I have just like everyone I know is just all over the world.
Yeah, right.
Besides my actual in-person friend group, which is nearby. But besides those people,
Massachusetts.
besides those folks, the game side of thing is people kind of all over the place.
That's so cool because you'd have connections with like everyone, right? You would have talked to so many people across the world.
Yeah, I think. I wonder how many countries it's hit at this point. I haven't done like a country count in a while.
That's so cool. You should have like a map of
I-
every person that you've had on Indiepocalypse.
I do in fact have. Well, like the contributor page is optional, but all contributors. And also not only is the contributor page optional, but saying where you are is also optional. But among that, I can paste it here in the Discord chats. But I do have a little map of all the people who have filled out
Whoa!
a contributor page and
That's
say
sick.
where they live.
Can you wait? Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this right now.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Yeah, right.
So
Whoa! So someone's in. Oh my god!
yeah, I've had
Like the middle of Australia.
yes. I think that was just like someone just said they were in Australia.
Indonesia?
Yes, there's like 4 people who said Australia.
China, India. Whoa.
Yeah, so if people are unfamiliar we talked about Notice before we get in the weeds of this giant map.
Oh yes.
How would you describe Notice?
Oh, I hate that. I hate.
Having to explain your
I
art.
hate that.
Yeah, I mean, you also say
how
I
to
choose not
describe
to.
Notice? No, 100%. That's just like the struggle of trying to describe games that don't fit into a genre.
Right.
Because I could, and because I've just while I've been in Sydney, I've been working this like full-time job with people that don't make games, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yo, what, as that comes up in conversation, you're like, what do you do at home? And I'm like, oh, I make games.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, cool. Can I check one out? I'm like, oh, I've got one on Steam, and I've got a bunch on, it like, and then I have to explain what itch.io is.
Right. You go.
And it's like a rabbit hole. I'm like, a visual, I wouldn't
Yes.
call it a game, but
Yeah. Sometimes you can get lucky and be like, oh, it's like Bandcamp. And they go, what's Bandcamp? You go, oh no.
yeah, it's kind of a nightmare. But yeah, I don't know. I'd start with saying it's a very short experience, like just a 10-minute long. I don't know, something. I couldn't say it's a visual novel because that's, I feel like there's visual novels that actually tell a story. But
well, here's the trick then. Like to describe it by not having describing what you're doing in it. What's it about?
It's about it's about meditation, I'd say.
Yeah.
Would be the way to describe it in one word, or being present, and the importance of that, and just kind of like reminding people about it. Because I think the main thing about being present in meditation is not the practice of it and getting really good at it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that can help, but I think it's more about just reminding yourself every few months, being like, oh, I feel like I've been a robot for the last little bit. I need to take some time out of my day and be more grounded.
Right, because it can be very easy to
feel more human.
Kind of like, we're in referencing the first segment, having a job and just like going to a job and just disassociating for 8 hours. And
That's
then
it. It's easy and it's the best thing to do.
And then doing that for a full week, and then you're like, where did a week go?
Yeah. Some people do it their whole lives.
Yes.
So
but that is
I made it out of a fear of not wanting to be like that,
Yeah.
To be a reminder.
And that is to bring it back to an abandoned segue I had in the last segment. It was during like PAX East where I was demoing the commissioned game at the time was Nicole Shin's Daydream Heartbeat Cure, which like is a game where you walk around, but it's not about walking around, And like, so, you run so quickly into, like you just did, the failings of how we talk about games, and how our like genre gameplay centric language sort of like collapses on what games are.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And then
I have a really good friend in Melbourne that they know a lot about this. They did a talk about it and everything. Is like the words we use to describe games. Jade, I don't know. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if she was on the show, but
could not tell by just a first name. But
Jade Britzman. I don't like. I'm pretty sure she hasn't. She told me, but it's definitely a thing. Using language to describe games.
It like, because it is so centered on what you do, like that's what dominates the language. And especially the more alternative space, what you do can often be very similar from games that are radically different than each other. Because you could in both Pool Friday and notice, say, oh, they're both games, they're story games where you walk around. But, having made one and played the other, they're not similar games.
Mm. Yeah, Pool Friday is difficult to describe.
Right. And,
but Pool Friday is so cool. We're having a bit where we can
yes,
like
talk to
all
everyone.
talk about the different.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Oh,
Yes,
man.
after your
Pool
segment
Friday's
is the
sick.
group segment. But,
Cool.
With gameplay-centered language, those two games would get described the same.
Yeah, that's it. And you just gotta play it. I think the best way to describe it is just like, I mean, I'm not talking about my own game, but like in general
Yeah.
of like, games that people recommend.
Yes.
Just be like, hey, play this game. Trust me. That's what
Right.
happened with one of my friends. Was just like, I can't say anything about it, but you should play, Undertale.
Right.
And then this is when I was like 15 or something when it came out. Whatever. I guess a few years after or whatever. And I was like, okay. And then I played it and I loved it. I mean, you can describe Undertale, but it's best to just play it, right?
Right, because
I don't know if that's the same with movies and things, but
yeah, that is it's the to bring up the man again. That's like David Lynch's idea of the movies doing the talking, so to speak.
yeah.
The idea of like when I have gone to like when I went to a museum recently, I took a bunch of flyers that I haven't read yet, but I didn't want to read them because I don't like to have things like explained to me. I just,
Oh, you went to a museum and you just didn't. So you didn't read the flyers?
I read the plaque. If there were plaques, I read plaques. But
Yeah.
like I kind of wanted to just engage with it in the moment.
I did the exact same thing with my girlfriend. We went to a museum on Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
And or it might have been the day after, but we looked at the exhibits, and then if it looked interesting, we like read a bit into it. But
Right.
that's the fun bit about it. Yeah, there was like so many taxidermies at this museum, and they were all like kind of a little bit messed up in the face.
You're right.
So
Right.
they looked like a little bit dopey, and it was super fun. Just looking around. I don't think I had the same experience as you. I think we
No, I
Kinda
the,
just
the I mean
goofed
the
off a bit,
the
but-
thing about like art museum, I guess it depends, especially on what kind you're going to, whether they're like classical or like modern art or like, because after we'd gone, the experience that people describe most of, I went with other people was because the nearby one in Mass has a James Turrell exhibit, which
Mass.
is
Sorry.
like the easy to describe to other people, the experience of it, because it's a very bodily experience, I don't know if you have, it feels like also like a thing of, if you want to make a museum, hey, you stick a James Turrell in there, like people are just going to get it right away, there is like an immediacy to his work that makes sense, when you're seeing it. You go, this light's doing weird stuff with my brain.
Yeah, there's like those interactive museums too, that is best if you don't sort of read what's going on.
Right.
Like in Melbourne, we have. I say that like I live in Melbourne right now.
Sure.
Acme, but Acme is like an interactive. What does it stand for? It's like Australian
Contemporary museum experience.
Contemporary something interactivity or something. I don't know, but it's really cool. Like you go in and there's like, I mean, there's a rotating thing, but a lot of it is interactive video games and films and stuff, and there's like weird light stuff in some of the exhibits. How motion works. It's really cool. Yeah.
Australian Center for the Moving Image.
That's it. It.
Yeah. Yeah, no. New York has one of those too. The MoMI, the Museum of Moving Image. So I guess moving image is like the standard for that kind of thing.
Moving image kind of covers games and everything.
Yeah.
Film.
Here's a little picture of a little NES in a little bubble. To show, yes, they have video games there, but that is like an interesting like. They had like, they did have little video game sections there occasionally. Video game gallery events. Do they have comic? Yeah, wrong. Unfortunately, the wrong Acme. This is an Acme with an I. They do things differently down there.
Damn. Yeah. I'd like to. America has so many cool things, but I don't want to go there right now.
Right. Yes. No. I'm looking for like I would love an excuse to like get over to like the to Australia at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is far away from me.
It'll be a day. Yeah.
And it's like, are they still doing free play? What's free play's deal? Is it gonna?
Don't even talk about it.
Right.
Free play. Oh, so sad. Free play's right now. I mean, I'm sure it's been going through this for a bit, but
yeah.
And I'll talk about it because it needs attention right now. Free play is going through free play is honestly, it's going through a bit of a hard time. I think free play is going to no longer be a thing.
Yeah. And that is like, it's a thing that I think about a lot as more and more of these things end, because I feel like the fate of all independent publishing efforts is like, you just, they're things that don't pay money. You just do them until you burn out and then you either run out of money or just burn out.
Yeah, there's some really cool people running it that are doing a lot of it out of just volunteering, but they're trying to get, just a bit of funding to pay part-time one person to run it all from the government, but the government doesn't want to budge, so.
Right.
It is what it is.
Like most of these things are basically done, like fully on, like volunteer labor.
Crazy.
Or like,
Crazy.
Not
as we talk about Andrew running Indiepocalypse, I mean, I'm sure, it doesn't.
No, it does not.
It's not. It's very easy to run Indiepocalypse, and I just want to say now is a great time to say how cool what you're doing is. Indiepocalypse.
I will take the compliment and it kind of pushes that. Oh, thank you.
So cool. So cool. Honestly, like, I don't know if you get this enough. I'm sure you do, but you're really putting something like this is really, really, really sweet what you're doing. Yeah.
It is really just like the thing that I want to. So I have on my desk right now.
Conservation as well. Yeah.
Yes. It's just a thing that I want to exist because I've talked about in this show, in this segment, and a lot of segments about like when I say looking for how do people find things when I often preface it, I'm talking about the theoretical, not game developer, not person who's super in the know, just like how does someone get into like alternative art and games and in people in it? Hey, how do you get like more than $0 for it? Like how
those two things don't go well together.
Yeah, like the fact that it's hard for people to find leads to the second being difficult to get paid for. The two kind of go hand in hand. But it is like, I generally want art to be more sustainable, but there's no like one thing. I think like there's no version of Indiepocalypse where it saves game dev or whatever. It's just like, at best, it's a good paycheck for someone in a year where they have to also find 7 other projects to fund them. Yeah. Like game dev isn't like a medium that has gigs. It's a thing I think about a lot. There's no gigs in game dev.
No. Yeah.
There's no like small parts, so to speak.
Yeah. You can't really. I mean, it's good because you can. You can't really. There's a lot of stuff you can't commercialize.
Right.
But
like, what's the video game version of doing a show at a bar? Like.
Yeah, there's none. Indiepocalypse, I guess. Woo!
Yeah. Right.
No Indiepocalypse.
But it is like a weird thing. But it is
sound effects. Did
Oh,
that come through?
Thank you. It did come through. Thank you. But I mean, it is just kind of like a thing that I like, you know, and all of my disposable income basically just goes to art. You know, after I survive, I just buy art with it.
Wow.
I have on my desk in front of me to remind me to sign up because my Koosh subscription is run out. And that that's the thing.
What?
Koosh. So Koosh, I'm always happy to talk.
Koosh.
Koosh. Kus.
I don't want to look up Kush because I feel like something else.
No, it's Kus, but it's got a little buddy on it. A little
Ku what?
It's an S with a little guy on it.
S with a little guy. Kus with a little guy on it.
If you just search Kus comics, you'll get it. You'll get there.
That's crazy. It actually came up when
Okay.
I searched Kus with a little guy on it. That's awesome.
They're a Latvian-based indie comic publisher who's been around for like well over a decade at this point.
Yeah, right.
But I really like them, and they are kind of like
Oh, this is cool.
one of the main kind of like influential points for like trying to do what Indiepocalypse does, of like, hey, just like small scale, sustainable indie press stuff. And I say that because I have a little
That's
reminder.
sick.
I have a little reminder, and it's like it's cool that like the guy who does it just knows me, who I am, and
So is this like I haven't heard of this. This is cool. Books, events.
yeah, books. So they do. This is just me pitching mini Koosh or Koosh because I just love. They do. It's like every other month. It depends what your subscription level is, but they basically put out their cycles are they put out 3 or 4 small books, and then 1 big anthology, and then 3 to 4 small books and a big like that's their cycle. And then
Cool.
they just repeat that, and they have like it was started for the Latvian comic scene, and now it just kind of covers people all over. Very cool project.
Oh, Latvia. That's awesome. Yeah, this looks cool.
But I forget where the end state. This is as alluded to earlier, as foreshadowed earlier. This is one of those statements where I was like, where was I going with this? How do we?
We're talking about Indiepocalypse, how cool it is,
Yeah, right. I was reflecting the compliment onto somebody else.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What you were doing is very cool.
Thank you. I mean, it's the same. Like this doesn't work without cool games,
Yeah, right.
When people really like, I've been thinking a lot about this project, and in general, like, I'm like, well, how do I promote this thing? And I don't know how to promote this thing because I feel like promoting it requires like the more mainstream game culture to like engage with games as an art more, which is like hard, which is like a larger problem than I could ever solve.
It's something that I think a lot of you gotta have more people doing cool stuff. Like in Melbourne, I used to run this it was my university's game developer club, and my goal was to make people see games as more of a, I don't know what the actual goal was, but I want them to see it as something you'd see in an art museum sort of thing. Like Acme was doing really cool stuff, but I needed I wanted more of that, because people were making real artsy stuff, story driven, weirdo stuff, and it felt wrong to just display it on a laptop at a bar.
Right.
I don't think I fully got there, but pretty much what I did was just display it on a laptop at a bar with a projector and cool lights and an artist statement next to it.
Yeah.
But there's better ways to go about it,
Right, and I think people are like more receptive. And the weird thing is, I feel like it's just honestly time. Like as time goes on, because the more I talk to people who are like 10 years younger than me or so, and younger, they're just like, yeah, no, they get it. They don't need to be sold this idea,
Yeah.
But it's the old guard hanging around that had the people who have all the websites and the YouTube channels or whatever. That it's like, how the people with the audiences, so to speak, are like, how do you convince them? When they're
It's rough. It's weird.
When they're still in their 40s playing Pokemon or whatever. I mean, listen, and if you want to, that's fine. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's gotta become more of a
Pokemon isn't saying anything.
Well, as long as there's community, I think that's
Yeah.
the most important thing. Having
Right.
having just at least a few people
Yeah.
that you have around you that are also into weirdo cool stuff.
And I think those people are
Doesn't
getting
matter who
easier
gets
to
paid.
find. So,
Yeah. Oh,
especially
the Melbourne scene is so sick.
yes.
There's just so many little subsidiaries of little cooler guy people groups going around and
yeah, like
doing really cool stuff.
I probably know
Events.
plenty of Melbourne people that you don't know even.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, I've been privileged to be a part of, just being able to go around and I feel like over the last like 5 years, I've
Yeah.
made so many lifelong friends that are just like complete weirdos, just like me, making
Yeah.
weird stuff. It's
Yeah.
really dope.
Yeah, no, it's a thriving and having like a local scene. That's where it benefits to have people like bouncing off of each other.
Yeah.
Now I've got a couple of questions for you if you're ready to go.
Oh no. Okay, I'm ready. Hit
Hey,
me.
hey, what's your favorite type of rock?
Don't hit me, but the rock question.
Yes.
Um, I was listening. I listened to this podcast before
Okay.
when Bor was on it, right?
Yes.
Bonicle and Cam, right? And my first interpretation of this question was, "Oh, cool! Like, what type of rock music is Bor into? I'd like to know that."
Right.
And then Bor was like, "Oh, actually, I don't know, like sedimentary." I'm like,
Yes.
"What? Oh
That-
my god! This
that-
question is like generational."
Yeah,
I don't know
it's-
how else to describe it, but
It's why I love the question.
So-
It's like I love to see, and also very often the question, like how the first person answers the question, often leads how the following guests answer the question. Like they set the trend of like, are we talking about music or are we talking about rocks?
and it's also such a weird question that like it hits me every single time. I totally forget about it.
Right.
And you did catch me off guard just then. My favorite type of rock. Minerals aren't rocks.
They are rocks.
They're minerals.
I
They
think-
are rocks.
I think minerals
Oh
are
wow,
rocks.
that's a whole.
I believe minerals are rocks.
Okay. I'm gonna say. Can I just say sandstone? I went to a beach
You
the
can.
other day, and there was this sandstone rock that flew. It had a plaque on it, and it was like, this rock looks out of place. It's almost a massive rock, and it was because there was a day in like 1970 or something that the winds was so harsh. Like I don't know what the speed was, but it was insane. That the waves smashed it and it flew like 20 meters in the air and then like landed on like this random cliff. It was crazy. And if you scratch sandstone, it kind of like you can kind of scratch away at it and get the sand.
Yeah.
Sandstone, I'm gonna say.
Perfect. Yes.
And you, Andrew, you rock.
Oh, thank you. That's not a type of rock. That's rock being used as an adjective, so not allowed in this question.
Okay. Well. Okay. I thought this was an open-ended question, Andrew.
It is fairly
From
open-ended,
Mass.
but open-ended still has an end to it, and you jumped
Okay.
over that end. Second question, Jake. Hey, do you have a favorite Toho character?
Toho. I still don't know what Toho is. Can we hang on?
Yeah.
I want to look up Toho characters.
Toho with make sure
Toho.
you put some U's after those O's.
Toho characters. I'm looking up Toho characters right now. Oh wow.
There's a lot of them.
Can I say? Ooh, they all have different hairstyles, but
Yeah.
I feel like if I say the one with the green hair, there's like 12.
I mean, I can always just give you what I think is now the default. I don't know. Please grant me a favorite Toho character, which is unnamed giant catfish.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you one.
Okay,
I'm
give me
giving
one.
you one.
Give me
I've gone
one.
on the Toho wiki. I'm too deep into the rabbit hole.
Okay,
Yeah.
dive into that wiki. Give
There's
me
a
a
lot.
character.
I'm gonna say Misa. Oh wow, this is a cool one. Misa Guji, like a ghost.
Okay.
Ghost curse. It says it's a curse god. Can cast curses. Its age is unknown.
Oh, that's a
I'm
fun
gonna go
little
with Misa Guji.
Misaguji. Yeah. Mishiguchi.
Apologies to my
Mishiguchi.
Japanese teacher from year 8. I
Yes,
pronounced that terrible.
I think you did.
Terribly.
But that's fine. Listen, my Spanish pronunciation not great. I don't think. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, because that's actually a thing I was thinking about fairly recently. You know, besides like, you know, a lot of places, you know, their foreign language they would take would be English if they don't speak English first, because you know English friggin' everywhere. It's the language of trade. But I'm like, other English-speaking countries, I wonder what because, you know, in the U.S. we have generally French and Spanish and let's be honest, you take Spanish because that's basically the second language of the country. You know, I feel like I encounter way more need for Spanish than I would French. You know, Mexico versus, I guess, Quebec. Or not Quebec. Where's Quebec?
And English is such a difficult language to learn.
Yes.
It's like, I feel so bad for my friends that
I was
have
right, yeah.
English as a second language.
Yeah, it's like, 'cause it's nonsense. It's a nonsense language.
There's so much bullshit that goes around with English. Like the words with, like, for example, Massachusetts with the double T. Why is there a double T?
Right.
And C as well. C is I'm still yet to
how do you
have someone
yeah.
explain to me why C is a letter and why it can't just be replaced with K and
S.
What is it? Yeah, S and K.
Yeah, no, I
that
mean,
covers most of it.
The beauty of, like, you know, I mentioned Quebec. You know, Quebec City is like two C's right next to each other, pronounced different ways.
That's what they pronounce. Yeah, CH is a great exception here. Wait, how do you say?
Ch.
Is that?
Who knows?
Sorry, I don't want to delve too much into this, but
yeah, and also it has so many, like, especially, like, you know, I think the newness and, like, American English probably screws up because, you know, America being the land of immigrants, you know, and it has probably included so many loan words and borrowed words into language that are not English words. They're just kind of like borrowed
yeah, right.
hither and thither and everywhere, you know. They're just kind of like slapped together into this thing.
Hither and dither.
That just and also weird turns of phrase that just don't mean anything. I mean, every language has weird turns of phrase that don't mean anything. I think I even probably misused that one, but the fun of English is you kind of get what I was saying, you know?
Yeah, you get the idea. Yeah.
No, that's right. It does mean here and there.
Hither and dither?
Yeah.
Is that what
or thither.
Awesome.
I think it's supposed to be thither.
Whoa. Hither and
thither.
What'd you say?
Thither.
Dither.
Thither.
Is that a hither and
thither?
Oh, I'm one letter off from. Okay, I'm gonna not type that one.
Yeah.
Hither. Okay.
It's a real mess of a word. But anyhow, English. What a language.
What a language. What a language.
Thoughts and prayers to anyone who has to learn it.
That's it. There's
That's it.
those
Jake,
videos.
We're gonna go on a break right now. We're not
Okay.
instead of spinning up, we're just gonna keep on. We're gonna go to a break and actually listen to a song that has no English in it. Actually, that's been this entire show. Not planned that way. That's just how it turned out. That's the fun thing about Bandcamp, you know. You get a lot of, like, not just, like, U.S. Europe music. You get a lot of stuff from, like, all over.
I can't say I use Bandcamp.
It's
all.
It's a great service.
Is there a benefit? Okay.
I would say. Like,
I'm trying to get off Spotify. I'm trying to find other alternatives.
No, I don't use Spotify at all. I completely got off of it mid
What do you do?
I download MP3s and put them on an SD card on my phone.
Yeah, that's it. That's the way to go, isn't it?
And then, like, I'm also like a front to back album kind of person.
Yeah, same.
So it's a lot easier for me to, like, because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna listen to this one album. So, like, here's an hour worth of music or so.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's, like, you know, I was so into CDs in high school that I had like this black market where I just pirated albums for people and they paid me like $5, but I did it like 20 times. So I guess I made $100.
Yeah, that's
Right.
hey, not a bad. CDs are dirt cheap, you know. And
Yeah.
it's a cool, like, CDs are handy, you know, and that's the anyway.
Cheaper than you'd think as well.
Yeah,
They're like
no, I initially wanted to like
so cheap.
I fell to publishing things on USB, but I initially wanted to publish on DVD, but I was like, nobody's gonna have a DVD player on their computer.
Yeah, USB is so sick. And the cassette tape thing that you do is so cool.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Just want more and more people to do it for so like 5 or 10 years. It's just like a thing that indie devs do to release their games, you know, like their own whatever
So
their
cool.
version of that is. But anyway, we're gonna go on break because we got
Yes.
a lot more to talk about. We'll be back in about a minute 30 though. Bye for now.
All right.
Now.
Hello and welcome back to Indiepocalypse Radio. That was Exotica with Pesadilla. Hey, what's up? We're back. The whole crew is here. Hello, entire crew of people. Bruno, Cassowary, Jake.
Oh no. Wrong one.
Oh,
Wait.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. This was like... I think I would do way more of that if I had a second person. Like, I think a lot about how
You
different...
gotta have a soundboard. Surely.
Get
That's the
that
next
Yes.
step.
morning radio show kind of sound.
I think about how different Indiepocalypse would be if there was a second person doing this, you know, with me. Like,
Just doesn't talk and just has a soundboard behind
no,
it.
just like does everything.
Well, that's
like,
a fun.
like someone like, because you realize like, even just like it's a lot easier to when you have that kind of like natural art sense of like you hate your work, you know. It's a lot harder to hate it when you're working on with another person, you know. Because you feel like,
That's a
oh,
good point.
I don't hate the thing that they're making.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier
Yeah, it's
to see
easier.
the positive. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like you cover each other's like downtimes or whatever.
Right. And like if they're enthusiastic about the thing you did, it's harder to feel bad about the thing that you did.
Right.
Also.
So I imagine like, oh man, I rather than like if I'm usually, try to be not complimentary of the project, but I'm like, oh, I'd be very complimentary of it if one another person that wasn't me was doing it. I'd be like, man, this rocks. Or as evidenced by every time someone does something slightly similar to it, I'm like, hey, this rocks. The guests from Game Poems that were on about 2-3 weeks ago. I'm losing track of time, you know. But that's also, hey, Game Poems are, I think submissions are opening again for the next issue of Game Poems.
Ooh.
Game poems. Oh man, I'm being introduced to so many.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, I
I,
haven't
Poem.
heard about this.
I think
Same here.
I think it's just GamePoems.com. Yeah, it's just GamePoems.com.
Game Poems magazine.
Yeah.
Oh, Gregory
Game
Avery
Poems
Ware
dot
was
com.
in this. I remember. I like their.
Yes. Yeah. No. The
Oh,
first issue was
shit.
first issue. Rock. Like man, it's just like, which one was Gregory Avery? Yes. The Ur game. Yeah. I'm like man, the Ur game.
I just remember I used to play a lot of Gregory Avery Ware. I was like a big fan of Gregory Avery Ware's Flash games when I was like 13.
Right. And that is like it's a thing I feel like I've talked about with a lot of people of like the people that like survive the longest in game dev are Gregory Avery Ware is an editor on Game Poems.
Oh wow! Oh nice.
The people who survive the longest are like people who do a lot of hobbyist work.
Right. Yeah, no, it makes sense because if it's not like bound up with your kind of career and your job and your boss and stuff, like it's easier to kind of maintain, like because you can just do whatever you want. You can just keep doing it.
Right. You just keep on making games.
If you like what you're doing, you can just do something else.
You're right. And that's like, as someone who's been around like game scenes and seeing people work on a game, it comes out, it does all right, doesn't do great. They just vanish. They drop off the face of the earth.
Oh yeah. I feel like I'm always telling people like you have to like enjoy like the process of making the game.
Right.
Like, you have to find something about. You don't have to enjoy all of it, but you have to find something about that you like.
Yeah, and like I feel like having a very like recognizable healthiest hobby, like a healthy hobbyist scene, is like what catches people in between jobs, you know?
Yeah.
Because whenever like studios close and things end, and
Yeah, it's been pretty dire for the games industry
Right.
lately.
and people talk about, oh, look, all this brain drain is leaving the industry, and I go, well, typically, I mean, obviously people are going to get out, but I feel like in the best version of an art form, those people are then, they don't have a job, but they're like, they get caught within the hobbyist space, so they're still like, oh, I'm still working on my art,
Yeah.
in between jobs. I'm not, I don't have like, I don't have a stable, whatever job, but I'm doing like, I'm submitting short stories. I'm like, I'm doing guitar lessons.
Right.
I'm doing shows.
And you're doing something that will pay off in terms of the kind of craft or whatever.
Right. You're still like, you don't
Then
feel
you're
like
all out.
you're just like done with your craft because a
Yeah.
company decided that the profitable thing wasn't profitable enough or whatever.
Yeah.
Or the more like insipid version of like games as a service take way more people to make than to maintain,
Yeah.
So you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna need 1,000 people to make this game, 200 people to maintain it. So 800 of
Yeah.
you are like doomed from the start.
Bye. Yeah.
And then also the games as a service didn't make enough money, so now none of you have jobs anymore.
Right.
Like it's
Yeah, you gotta find a way to make it so that you can still mentally you can still work on your art and
Right.
not worry about your job.
right, and it's like I think it can be hard to, and I think part of it is, I think to some degree, having computers are expensive. They're getting less expensive, and more people are getting hand-me-down computers. But like, the era of the family computer, so to speak, is not that long ago. That's like
Yeah.
15 years ago, maybe, where that was still like a very
Yeah.
common. I grew up with a family computer.
Me too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me three.
Yeah, so okay, it exists now still. It's not an old thing. Like a lot of people have
Yeah.
family computers because they're expensive things. So I think it kind of like trickles into it being like a very like upper middle class hobby sometimes to get into games because it requires an expensive piece of hardware that you own.
Yeah.
Which I think mentally
God, I'm
puts
so sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry, but yeah, I also did have a family
Yeah.
computer. Like when I was like, when I was like, must have been like the 2000s. So yeah, I was a little
Yeah.
kid,
Yeah, right.
a fetus, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and this unleashed like a core memory right now.
Right, and then and
I'm sorry, like
I think that's part of like
I could talk about it later.
where you get into like where free games kind of like shape your taste, because it's hard, you don't have your own, hard to get like games on your computer or whatever, because everyone has to-
I mean, that's like when I was growing up, I didn't have a game console or
Right.
anything, and like we weren't gonna like spend
Same.
money on video games or whatever.
right.
So I just was whatever was like free online that you could find without having to. And also like we had like a really bad computer that was
Right.
like really slow.
Yes. No.
I would play Flash games, but a thing
Yeah.
that I always forget now in retrospect is that I also used to play them and they would run at like 10 FPS, and it was like I have a distinct memory of like waiting, like being able to see like individual frames and like waiting for the net, like I'm gonna press left, like
Pretty much the only games
Yeah.
that we generally had were like Blizzard games, because they kind of were cheap
Ah.
to run. and
makes sense.
and they all had basically, StarCraft had a million games inside of it,
Mhm.
of like, hey, what if? I mean, that's a a fascinating little bit of game design history that's also, like Flash, kind of lost despite being very influential in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like that's where like
So
tower
sad.
tower defenses come from. And like
And now it's itch, right?
yeah, now it's all itch, which is it's more unfocused,
Yeah.
which is a thing in and of itself. Like it's good that it's all there, but also, I'm not going to pretend that itch has the money to hire staff writers like Bandcamp does.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure if itch was bringing in that kind of cash and could staff up writers to put out daily articles about games on itch, you could just as easily get that same amount of wild curation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Articles.
Don't they have that occasionally? They have, but not maybe
Very
not in a
occasional.
while.
It's extremely occasionally.
Yeah.
The
Maybe
last
they used to have a couple more.
yes.
Oh yeah, they haven't had. They haven't. Okay, I see. They haven't posted this in a long time.
Yeah,
they
like a
used
year.
to.
Yes, I.
Yeah.
The person who used to do that, I think, was on the show recently.
Oh, cool.
That's sick.
Is no longer working there.
That's too bad.
Uh,
Yeah, you can
And-
see on the itch.io blog 84 days ago, what is Creator Day?
right,
Yeah.
and that's the last
Yeah.
post,
Hell yeah.
even,
84 days
Yeah.
ago.
which was probably copy pasted from the last time they announced Creator Day.
Right.
Yeah, Creator Day 87 days ago. Damn.
Right. So it is kind of
Would be
just
cool.
like a lot of ways like a like a thing that has grown in its use, but it's not like. Then that comes down to like
Yeah.
people don't buy games,
Right. Well, and I mean, to their credit, tries not to, like, be really commercial and take all the money from
Yes.
the games that they sell on them. And
Right.
Stuff.
Right.
Um,
And which I think
but
is
yeah.
it's
I
kind of
think
like
I think I think that's great in that it makes selling games for money way more accessible than it has
Yeah.
been in the past. Like you don't have to set up the payment infrastructure and stuff. Like I think
Yes.
it's nice to have a website that's just like that. In the same way that Bandcamp, I guess, is like
Yeah.
that.
right. So you don't have to you don't have to set up a Stripe account and a PayPal account and a X.
Yeah.
You have to have
Make a website that has like a payment widget or whatever.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
like I do also have a website and a payment widget, and it is nice to have a payment widget. It pays me a lot faster,
Yeah.
but it is also a pain to set it up. If
Right,
everyone
yeah.
had to set one up, and it is nice that there is a central point that people can go from to other sites.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, it's a good. I want to get people on damn other people's websites again.
Hmm. Yeah, it feels like everyone has this like sense that like we need to do this, but it's not always clear how.
Right.
Or like, because like a problem with the website, whatever is like, there are still websites, but
Yeah.
the audience has kind of gone away. Like it has to. I don't know.
Yes, yeah. It's the trickiness of like how do you retrain people on that skill?
Yeah,
Community.
like in the discovery, and that you have to go out and be willing to find stuff yourself, which is something that has been kind of trained out of people.
Yes.
Um,
No.
Kind of feels daunting nowadays to do.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Like having
so much stuff that feels overwhelming.
yeah, and a lot of people are doing like web rings or like like here's a bunch of links to friends that I like,
Yeah.
on their personal websites, which does help.
But then it kind of like, again, almost has the same issue of like the people who are looking at it are the same people
Yes.
who are making it.
Right.
Like the people who were previously like the sort of large passive audience don't know about it.
Right. It's
Like,
the same problem of like great ecosystem. How do you get them into the ecosystem?
Yeah. Right.
And how like how do you do it? That's not just like one person at a time bringing them in by
Yeah.
word of mouth,
Yeah.
which is kind of like what I try to do. Why I do go to events like PAX West. Because
Yeah.
for all the developers who are like, oh, I've heard of this thing, there are people like, what is this thing?
Right.
and I'm like, oh, they're games, and like there is the satisfaction of people being like, oh yeah, especially as I do more shows, people be like, oh, I saw you at this show, I want more, or I was at your table last year at MagFest. The best example was at MagFest because someone was like on Friday, I guess they bought one on Friday because on Saturday they were like, oh, we brought this back to our hotel room, we played all the games, we want another one.
Nice.
That's so cool.
And it is like, I do like to have like a more traditional gameplay game, because besides liking more traditional gameplay games as well, I do like having one or two bare minimum in each issue as kind of like a gateway drug for people.
Yeah.
So like, like Small Pond is a great, like, if someone's wary, like I don't know about if they're like, oh, what do you do in these games? I don't know,
Right. It's a more gamey game.
right? And then they go, oh, and then they play like the game about
The rabbit hole.
Then they play season 31, like a long kind of management game, but mostly about societal collapse or whatever. And then they're like, oh, actually, I like this too. Like, I think it's good to have
Yeah.
this.
Small Pond is so cool.
It's like an entry. Oh, thank you.
Yes, no, yeah, I am often like commission games because I don't have to play them for the zine.
Right.
I sometimes get to them, sometimes maybe months after they're done because I'm working on playing things for it. But a rare Indiepocalypse in the greater Oceania region time zone. Agreeing Sakoyu in the chat, the standard a long time, someone who's here long enough to be I know that person. They a cool artist, I say. But I booted up Small Ponds for like a local game dev meetup in Providence. And that was the first time playing. Like, wow! I'm like, I forget. Like, man, people make good stuff in like 3 months. I was like, oh my god! Like, it felt like
I'm proud of how it like kind of came together.
Yeah.
I had to spend a lot of time fixing, because I haven't made a game that has like a collision system in a long time, because it's really annoying. And then I put in a lot of work to try and make it actually like good.
And yeah, it's very good. I can.
What'd you make it in?
It's SDL, in like C.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Cool. Sick.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and like I was just like, oh yeah, people can make like these. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say that games without collision systems, they rock.
Yes. I love making games that are like on a grid in particular, because I think that it has like a sort of charm to it, and also like to make things in a grid, and also it's really easy.
Yes. Yeah. No.
Well, level design is a thing,
Yeah.
It's a very complicated thing that often like easy to not work well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy to come off in like very very like, oh, I get why, like it's a complicated skill that isn't obvious, and also is not like uniform across all mediums.
Yes, and it's hard to know that you've done it right, because like, oh, what if you did something really stupid and like messed up? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And like how much do good platformer level designs translate into good RPG level designs,
Yeah, that's kind of the thing that is interesting to me about games, actually, as a medium. And I feel like I'm talking a lot, sorry. But one big thing is that there's so much like depth in every little like bit of it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's kind of funny because like it's just video games, but also like every part of video games you could like study for your entire life and like not like I don't know. There's so
Yeah.
much stuff.
Yeah, like I, there's some like IF feels like its own subcategory of video games that lives on an island by itself sometimes.
Yeah.
That has been thriving for 40 40 years.
Yeah, and it's developed all its own like conventions and its own like yeah.
and it also barely gets engaged with like within mainstream, often even like indie game culture. It doesn't
Yeah.
bump up against IF too often, but it has.
Yeah, if by the way, if
Yeah.
you haven't played the Goss Stack, that's my favorite IF game. You should check that out.
Oh, stack.
I can't explain it. GOSTAK.
GOS.
TAK.
It's just
GA.
it's impossible to explain.
Okay, let me look this up.
Yeah, no, it rated as of 2023 6th place of all time.
Whoa.
So, in the 2023
decline.
edition, yeah, no, and it is like fascinating of like people who are these mainstays in here, that are just like are like sort of known within games.
Mm-hmm.
But like, how often are people talking about Emily Short within like the indie game space?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Despite being like an IF luminary, I mentioned because sitting comfortably at number 1.
Oh yeah.
But it is like, and that is one thing, and then there's like, adjacent to that, visual novels also feel like they're also kind of like their own kind of like
Yeah.
video games, except when people want to make a joke, I guess.
Yeah.
Within mainstream game culture, I should say, obviously. But
Yeah, I haven't dived into interactive fiction very much.
yeah, I mean,
Me
it's-
neither, actually. I just
What-
mostly know that one game, but that's really good.
Emily Short and the Gus Gak.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to write down some recommendations to to get into.
yeah,
Okay.
it could. I mean, just go to,
remember
of course,
getting-
IFDB.
IFDB.
Yeah,
Like, is this like IMDb? But
interactive fiction database.
there you go.
Well, my
IFDB.
favorite, what I love about interactive fiction is their like commitment to like writing, like, the name of the author,
Yes.
like as though the game is like a book. I
Yeah,
think that's a very like cute convention. Or like it at the beginning of the game, it always says like blah 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 by blah 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 and all this stuff. I just think it's
yeah,
charming.
and I'm sure you can go look through like IF Comp and Narrowscope and all these different like various little resources around.
This is like a whole thing.
Yeah, IF. I mean,
Whole
like
new world.
IF, goes all the way back to Colossal Cave Adventure. When did that come out?
Yeah, it's like one of the earliest. It's kind of like you know how there's like the family tree of animals and
Yeah.
like lampreys or whatever are like have like split off at the very beginning and then have been doing their own thing for like billions of years. I feel like that's kind of what like interactive fiction
Yeah,
is.
yeah. It's from like
Awesome.
from like the 70s.
Yeah.
Like, or art. I mean, if you really want to argue, could be from the 60s, I think. But like, if you want to get,
Yeah. Probably.
if you want to go with Wikipedia and argue that Eliza is interactive fiction,
Oh yeah, I guess you could say that. Although it's
it's not present.
little
It's not.
different.
I think
Yeah.
part of that is presentation.
because it's not like yeah, and there's no like end, like you're not like moving through like rooms to go to like there's no like concrete goal, I guess. Like it sort of just responds to whatever you say. But
Yeah.
it feels like a proto version of that for sure.
But so go back to all the way back to 1976. My God. And just, fire up some Colossal Cave Adventure. Dude's still kicking. Apparently, Will Crowther still out there.
Dang.
Yeah, and it is like, yeah. The VN, the visual novel database is like, I think there also are like some IF sticklers, that are picky about what IF means. But I bet your
like
IF,
a visual novel doesn't count.
No, but I think Rodfire probably also has done IF as well, like more to the what's the word I'm looking for, to the letter IF. So.
Oh yeah.
But
cool. I've just been scrolling through IFDB this whole time. You said there's a visual novel database?
Yes, VNDB, which like some Indiepocalypse, like to show like they are more proactive. Like some Indiepocalypses are on VNDB because they'll feature, something like Rodfire's games, Yeah, that's what I figured.
Andrew, after this, I'm gonna need you to just send me a big list of cool little websites that have this whole like list situation community going on. That is so cool.
Yeah, no,
I'm going through this now.
There is like a million
ratings and stuff.
That's kind of
yeah.
Like speaking of like people going back to websites or whatever, that's kind of the issue, is like finding what the websites are to go to in the first place.
You need like a Rosetta Stone like me who's like, hey, let me tell you about all these websites.
Right.
This is awesome. This is like I feel like I'm being transported back, 15 years. Not quite early internet, but just like little websites that have little ratings and reviews and blogs and things. I feel like I haven't. This is so cool.
Yeah, there is. It is. Is it defunct now or is it back up? I can't remember. I feel like it was defunct and now, or not defunct, but like they stopped doing it. But maybe they're back to doing it. I don't remember.
The VNDB.
Oh no, they did. They are back to doing it. Ubu Web.
Ubu Web. Okay, I'm gonna bookmark all of these.
UbuWeb.com is just like a real fucking website with hyperlinks on it.
Yeah, this is sick.
But it is like a giant repository of like avant-garde, outsider, experimental art.
That's so cool.
I remember visiting UbuWeb a lot when I was like 16.
Yeah, it is like a beautiful hole to find yourself down.
To get into like stuff that I knew was like experimental stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like watching a lot of movies there and finding out it was awesome. But didn't they like? I remember a few years ago they said that they were shutting down, but they never really did.
I think
the site's still up, but
yeah,
they just stop uploading stuff there.
Yes, they said they were no longer going to be active. Then reading from Wikipedia, in 2025 they resumed their activity, citing political changes in America and elsewhere as a reason to be active again.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Too much shit's happening right for us not to be up. That's cool. This is so cool.
Yeah. Whoever is adding stuff to the visual novel database is like they are busy, and they are adding a ton of like actual like just like self-published indie stuff constantly. Like it is.
Do you have any more off the dome to just shoot at me right now? Because we've got the IFDB, the VNDB, and Ubu Web.
I don't know if I have any more straight off the dome.
Because itch.io right now is just my main source of.
Yeah, I don't know if Ubu Web has any games on it, but it also has just cool stuff.
They have a dance section.
Yeah.
They have a dance section. How cool is that?
Yes.
One website that I found is oo.directory. This is not games either, but ooh.directory, which is just like a list of people's blogs.
Oh wait, I think I know. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Computers, internet tech, countries. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start using the internet more intentionally.
Yes. Yeah.
I need more websites like this.
And that is like I think like a simple a call to action, so to speak, for people listening. Like a simple way to start with that is like, presumably people are here on games on itch. Follow people on itch and like look at your itch feed all the time. If you like a game, like check out who's commenting on that, because it's usually other developers, and see like look and see what that developer has made. Often a lot of developers will put like their favorites in here. Rodfire here has a section of their favorites, just like a little, and a lot of developers will have like little sections of like, oh, here are my favorite games.
That feels like something that is a crucial component that is missing from a lot of things lately. Is like a sense of like being like, oh, I like this thing, I'm going to look at the person who made it, versus like I'm going to like have the algorithm try to show me more things like this, or whatever. Like if you actually sort of, it's not even really like curate your experience, but it's like put more effort into like following the actual people that make stuff that you're interested in.
Right.
I think that's like kind of something that is oftentimes missing.
Yeah, that is like. There's another one here. I'm gonna, for posterity of recording. Brisray.com has a giant web ring list on it.
How do you spell that one?
BRIS.
You saw how I spelled Massachusetts. I don't think I have.
BRISRAY, and then /web ring list. But you can just probably, if you go to the web section, then go to the web ring section. It's there.
BRISRAY.
I will just post it in.
Oh.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
In the chat here.
Sorry.
Cool.
Ray's missing.
And I like itch.io because it's to me that's the closest thing that we have right now to something like MySpace. Where you can actually click on someone that's left a comment and then see that corner of the internet and see their art style and stuff they're interested in.
Yeah.
Like through their work and their background, their colors they use and stuff like that. It's so cool.
Yeah,
I miss when you used to be able to personalize your like page on stuff more. Used to be able, like, even like YouTube or whatever. You used to be able to like set the background for your what happened to that?
Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back. Why? It's so
absolutely.
And
we
like
need this in 2026.
And I feel
we need more of like minimalist. Minimalist style.
Yes.
We need more of that, actually.
Yeah, and it's how I find like a lot of people too. Well, just like, because that's how I used to back in the old days. Like how I found a lot of stuff was just like, oh, let me look at links of things. So I was like, oh, if someone likes something, let me. And a lot of these people. You must be like, there are people like all these people commenting on Notice are also in Indiepocalypse, probably because they were on the same issue as you and they were playing your game.
Oh my god, I don't check my own page nearly as much as I need to.
Yes, yes, they were in the same issue as you, so they were playing your game and commenting.
Oh my gosh. It feels like I don't have enough time with a full-time job to actually explore this website.
I know.
As much as I should.
That's the trickiness of like, I think that's how people fall into like algorithms very easily.
Because it's easier to just, I mean, I do this too, mostly in YouTube these days, but like it's easy to just be like, oh, I'll just open up the thing and see whatever's there because I can't be bothered to whatever. Like I don't want to make it sound like it makes you a bad person or something, because it's very easy to like fall into that. It is the path of least resistance, like for a reason, kind of.
Yeah, when I have like I just found someone's game, like I don't know what the game is, but I got a good vibe from it just purely through a comment on, I forget whose game I was on, but I'm like, let me check this out. It's probably cool.
Yeah. I'm always clicking on people's like profile names on itch.io.
Yeah. And I'm like, who is this person? What do they make?
Yeah.
And like, because there is like, I love trying to describe it. I was like, there's a there's like I love like confidence. You know, the confidence to try something. Is something I appreciate a lot, and that comes through. There's a particular, I'm sure I have it somewhere. Oh, that's the wrong. Oh, gifts. There's a particular comic I like that phrased this idea that I think about a lot. Where the line was, "I feel like that you were trying to convey something." When someone asks about their a musical performance they put on, someone else replied, I like the feeling that you're trying to convey something. And that like sums up like what I crave in art. Like even if someone is like not fully unsuccessful, I feel like they're they want to say something, you know. Like there exists something inside of them that
I think that's I think that's important, and also just like that I guess it maybe more broadly that it feels like they like had like a reason to make the thing that they made.
Yes.
Like whether like that they're actually expressing something.
Yes.
I guess about like, because one thing that I also greatly like is the way that like when someone is sort of making something like for the like love of it, I guess, that it ends up with all these like little sort of unintentional things that come from who they are. Like when you make something, it has the things that you think to put in it are not the things that someone else would think to put in it, and you get this very like weirdly specific, and like I really enjoy seeing that in other people's things too, because it's like, you know, looking around in someone else's brain.
Right.
Whatever.
Yes. There was a bit at the end of, and Koyo was right, that is from Ikoku Nikai, and I am trying to use the fact that as an anime now to get people Ikoku Nikai brained and get them fully into that. But because there's another I'd read there was little blurbs at the end of Glacier Bay's release of the Carmen line, which was like a collection of comics. And one of them to the effect was like, they were like, I don't know this, the author. They're like, so one of the blurbs from another artist was like, I don't know this artist, but like, I don't know if I fully know them from reading their work, but it makes me kind of feel like I know them a little and want to know them more, you know?
Yeah.
Like they like,
and it's like interesting to see how what they do and think is like different from you. Like it's like a way to be like exposed to like a different way of thinking about the world.
Yes.
Or something. I don't know.
Like a thing I realized late last year, like that kind of like dawned on me of like what put me off so much about like Gen AI art. Was that like, you know, it increasingly is technically like has technical skill or whatever. But I realized that like it lacks intention.
Yeah. It doesn't have any like it didn't make the choices that it made for any particular reason.
Right.
So
it doesn't have any of that weird human stuff behind it too, you know.
Yeah. Like it's never going to be like fixated on some random thing. Like, you know, and that's like, I kind of miss like I miss the like older sort of stupid AI, because it would get fixated on like random things, and it was much more interesting.
Like the cursed broken era of it, where it was like I like made something with that at one point, and it was fun, and then it immediately became not fun. No, I had a friend sad. I knew someone who had put in an email and like or whatever was on it, whatever allowed you to do that, and we were like, okay, we would like. I need to have like Gex having dinner with Morrissey now, and it was like doesn't get it right, you know. But seeing like its interpretation of it was fascinating in a weird way.
Yeah.
But then it's like people are like, oh, this is a real thing. I'm like, no, this isn't a real thing. This is a silly thing we're gonna have fun with for 2 months. What do you mean it's real?
Yeah.
And the thing about like,
Yeah.
to me about like current Gen AI, that's like, it's sometimes it's trying to replicate a certain style, like that fucking stupid like Ghibli trend from last year.
Yeah.
But it's also like, at the same time that it's trying to replicate a specific style, it's also incredibly like non-specific.
Yes. And
It's really strange because like the Ghibli thing after a while stopped looking like Ghibli.
Yes. Yeah.
Shoto.
You're correct. It did
And also
actually
with
very
the
quickly.
piston.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is also the funniest style because that is one that's so like based on like it's a very humanist art style, you know.
Yeah.
One that it,
Yeah.
especially in motion, is very clearly like, oh, they have a lot of weird people. It's full of people, a lot of weird, very human behaviors, you know.
That was the thing about
Also-
the AI. Oh, sorry.
No,
I-
I was just also. Oh no, sorry, go on.
no.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say that also like Gen AI in terms of like just trying to emulate pictures and stuff. I also found it extremely funny that people were doing the Kirkified meme so much that like some images would be unintentionally Kirkified, and that was just insane to me because you just see Charlie Kirk's face in places where the person generating the image didn't want it to be there, but
Right. It just
It's awesome. I hope there's a future where AI like breaks itself and can't recover because there's so much stuff on the internet where it's self-feeding itself.
yeah,
I hope,
and
I hope it breaks. I
And it-
hope it just breaks as well.
it's also it's a weird thing where this show we talked about on this show and it comes up a lot about for the love of the game, so to speak.
Right.
A lot of those things are for it's like you don't want to make art, you want to have made art,
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the thing. Also, like I think that a big part of it is like people wanting like the social prestige or whatever that comes with like being like, look at this thing that I made.
Right.
But it's sort of you can't shortcut that because then it's not impressive.
Right.
Like it's only impressive if you actually did it. So it's like it's never going to, like, even if AI whatever became perfect and was good or whatever, and you can't tell whatever.
Yes.
It's still not going to be impressive to people because you didn't make the thing.
Yeah.
Or I guess it's the thing about the Ghibli trend also that I was gonna say is like it is like not really capturing what's like interesting about the Studio Ghibli things. It's sort of treating it like as though it's a like lo-fi chill beats to relax to image background
Yes.
or whatever, like
It's
which is not actually what Studio Ghibli is.
Yes,
Like-
right. Right. It's the kind of the boiling down of a thing to an aesthetic.
Yeah.
When like it's definitely
Yeah,
like
dude.
not those things are not just you could go on forever about just like the aestheticization of Ghibli when the initial appeal of it is that there's more to it going on than just a pretty look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there's human behind it, right? And
Right.
I think Bruno, Full Friday is a perfect example of something that couldn't possibly in any sort of future be made by AI.
right.
In the way that it's like,
Thank you.
Right.
it's so it's clearly so you, right? There's like and there's so many like left brain things you come up with, and it's like you woke up, there was so many moments I was like, oh my god, there was just one time art style of this dude in like this weird fully like claymation sort of thing that you use like once or twice, and then you just forget about it. Or like there's like this dude made of just fully a different like style of pixel art And then there's like certain lines that, yeah, it's cool to see stuff like that where AI couldn't possibly come up with it.
Thank
And
you.
it tells a story that feels a bit more human, you know? I feel like we need more of that these days.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, the game was sort of also being born out of this, I guess, in a sense of this desperation of, yeah, and it's a very
Yeah.
anti-AI game.
Yeah, you can
And
tell.
there's that one part where it's just like, you know, the orange character, and he's like going through this like red pill like website future reading thing, and I just wanted to like make fun of ChatGPT and like I don't know, like this is gonna be mean spirited, but it's because it is. Like I just wanted to make fun of like people who like unironically do that shit with ChatGPT, and because it's
Yeah.
like, to me it's kind of unbelievable to me that like some people unironically use ChatGPT instead of Google
Right.
like nowadays.
I just
And I just
Dystopian.
oh sorry.
yeah, it's fucking weird as hell because like I remember like the one job that I was like working at like last year, and I was just having I listened to like coworkers say shit like, "Oh yeah, I'm telling my 7-year-old son that, you know, AI's the future, and I'm already
Oh my
going to
God.
fucking Udemy and like
Oh, God.
purchasing this like Chat GPT course," and I was and like I was like, you know, doing my things like motion design stuff at my desk, and there's like these four different people like talking about this stuff in front of me on like a morning that I'm like just barely awake, and I'm you know
Fight up.
this is like the sort of thing that like helped, you know, make Full Friday a reality. I think this sort of situation.
I just don't
And the
understand
style
peop-
completely.
Like, oh, sorry.
Oh, and sorry. I was
I-
just gonna say like the style works really well because it completely it works with the story you're trying to tell. Is all I was gonna say.
Oh, thank you.
I just had a Chat GPT
Yes.
rant in me also, but I just don't understand how people like look at what is output by it or whatever and are like, yeah, this is great. Like this is what I want to like put my it's just so. It's just, it's so like predictable,
Right.
kind of, right? Like it's
Yeah.
it's
And-
like even when it just writes like normal text or whatever, it's like you already know what it's going to say before it says it.
Right. What I
I
try
feel
to
like-
tell people
Yeah.
is like it's a product,
It's
so
not just
like it's a product that it wants to give you. Like it doesn't want to not have an answer for you because that would make it a bad product. So it's going to give you
Right.
an answer.
But like and maybe I again don't want to either sound mean spirited or like I think I'm better than people or whatever. But like I don't understand I don't understand the appeal of that.
Yes.
I guess like I can if I wanted like to read words on a computer that are like, wow, you're so smart and cool. I could write that myself, but I won't because that's stupid.
Right.
Like, you know, like I don't understand. Like I don't know.
It feels
We come back to the idea.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, what's the point of what we're actually doing?
yes.
And if
Right,
you're
yeah.
actually prompting, you know, a robot to make art for you, you know, it kind of circles back, and it is a useless circle. You come back to the realization that, oh, okay, the reason I'm doing this is to, you know, tell a story, you know, or, you know, make my friends laugh, or whatever it is, and it's completely it's useless if you're telling a robot to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Right.
a
It's like
clinker.
The social purpose of art in a way.
yeah. It feels like the kind of like a natural extension of just, you know, the commodification of the self, you know.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah, like I need to put something out.
Yes,
To
I need to be
whatever,
creating
convey
content.
An image of myself. Yeah.
I need like if I'm not being a content creator, how will I ever be an influencer or whatever, or Like I need to make sure I need to go viral. Which is a thing that
right,
doesn't.
and I need to say the thing that the computer like approves of the most, more than I need to say something that's actually myself. Like,
and like also, I mean, the thing of going viral doesn't mean anything anymore. Like, you know,
yeah, I've thought about this too. Going viral, the word viral, or it means like, or meant, like it's being communicated from person to person because they like sent it to their friends,
right?
Like a virus. But now it just means an algorithm.
Is that actually how it? Virus.
Yeah,
viral.
like because like back before like the
Yeah.
YouTube algorithm or whatever, people would send videos to their friends
Yeah.
and stuff like that. United breaks guitars or whatever. Like, yeah. So I don't know. So that's an interesting like kind of shift. I
Right,
guess.
and now it's just like, well, and then also like virality lasts, I don't know, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
You get big enough, and then you get a 5-minute spot on Good Morning America for some reason. You go, yeah, so we were doing the burnt steak challenge, and my husband was so funny when he was doing it, and yeah, and then it's like, to what end? Are they on Celebrity Trader? Who knows? Like, it's just a weird. It's our weird cursed end goal with celebrity culture. It feels like.
Yeah. In the future, everyone will be famous for 15 minutes.
And we just all want that 15 minutes at the exact same time. We need it now.
Yeah.
I was on Steam last night looking for like multiplayer games to play with my girlfriend, right? And I came across web fishing. What happened to web fishing? Web fishing had 15 minutes, and then I haven't heard anyone talk about web fishing in a long time. But
Right. That's also like
I
the.
feel like Peak had that same reaction as well, because I think me and my friends, we played like all my friend, like the whole gang, we played like Peak once or twice and then never more after that.
Right.
And me and my girlfriend, from time to time, we were like, oh, maybe we should play Peak again, but never, just like that. And now we're playing Heartopia.
Yeah, and I don't think
And
things.
I don't know if it's gonna change
Right.
in a few months. Maybe it will.
And those are the particular things that I think will like come and go with time. Where like, what is the cultural perseverance of Peak? It's probably nothing. Like, does anyone think about Peak in 10 years? Or whatever version of Peak that feels least mean. Whatever one you want to hate on the most. Like, whatever these, streamer style online goofy games is. They're just like because a thing people always talking about it, only has so much like, whatever, like people are only going to be always talking about something for so long, but doesn't mean they have like those things lose cultural relevance.
Yeah, but then there's some games that people are still like will come back to like 10 years later or whatever, or still be thinking about, or still be talking about.
Right.
Like,
Minecraft
even
is
if it's
crazy.
not
Yes.
once their time is up, but people will continue to like put effort in to run them and keep thinking about them and do like, I don't know. There's something.
Let me tell you about like a 20-year-old, 30. How I don't know. Let me see how old this game is now. That you don't see talked about on the internet very often. But maybe one of the most 2004. Yeah, it's just this 21-year-old game you may have heard of called Yume Nikki.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Nikki?
Which is ultra influential, but it's not like people talk about it all the time.
Right.
And I think that a lot of like persevering art people are not always talking about.
It is interesting how culture moves, because it's like one day, something is mega viral, and
Right.
then you don't hear it being talked about. But there's games like Yume Nikki where it's like it's kind of kept this stable, people know about Yume Nikki because it's so influential and it's in the back of their brains. But I guess the games that don't have an effect on you that you did play at one point where they went viral,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of get lost.
And
I've kind of thought about this on like a broader level too,
Right.
with regards to like game audiences and stuff in general. Like, in that you can like there's all the advice that's like lean into what's popular, blah blah blah, and like maybe then you have a game that succeeds, but nobody's going to like care what the. It's like kind of like being a music one-hit wonder versus
Right.
being like a, you know what I mean? Like they're like you can if you
yeah, just if you
build up an audience.
if-
like,
if you
there's
make your-
more staying power.
yeah, if you make your cool slacker rock music, 20 years later you'll get your first gold album or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right. Exactly. Because eventually enough people will care.
Yes,
Because
because
if it's interesting, people will kind of keep following around.
You can have an
Yeah.
effect on people.
Yeah.
If you don't have an effect on people, it doesn't change them. Doesn't
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah.
They're not gonna
I
remember.
mean my
That's why you
my
gotta have intention.
my mean version of that is that because Yume Nikki is good,
Right. Yeah.
and those viral games aren't.
Right.
And and people have always been talking about it. It exists, as Koryu mentions, like, yeah, Yume Nikki's ultra influential and like has always had a thriving fan community. And these things exist within like the margins, like, and they'll pop up here and there, but it's how much it's funny to think about like how I joked about the one of this gold record in 2024. Like in 2024, Pavement got their first gold record because of TikTok. But
I didn't know that.
how many people are talking about Pavement more than like? Let me do some quick amateur sleuthing of like when did like, let's just say Crooked Rain come out? Like, I'll just land Enchanted because I found that one first. 90. So like, what is the top selling when did it, 92? So what's like 1992 top selling album?
Yeah.
It's like it's a
Right, 'cause
good.
this is a hard like
Doesn't
thing
matter.
to come up with offhand because anything
Yeah.
you think of offhand from the past is like something that did have staying power.
Right.
Mm.
And sometimes it's like the Wayne's World soundtrack.
Right.
Oh, Billy Ray Cyrus's "Some Gave All," dominating the Billboard charts.
Is
in
that
92.
actually the answer?
Oh,
I
That's
don't.
crazy.
Best. Let me go to best selling.
It just shows it's like
Yeah.
our job as game developers isn't to make
Yeah.
viral stuff. That's not the goal.
Yes.
It's to
Right.
make stuff that if you can keep it in the back of someone's head, or if it changed one person or influenced them in some sort of way, to me that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
Because then
Yeah.
maybe in 10 years they'll talk about it to their friends,
Yeah. It's the thing I
and
joke
that has
about.
more of a
It's the joke I say for Indiepocalypse developers are like, give it 10 years and then your work will be appreciated.
Yeah.
yeah. If it's one person, to me
Yeah. Like
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
there's to mention comics that I think about a lot, because I think about mostly comics that talk about art a lot. Artists that think about art is always, I'm a sucker for art about art. I read Tokyo These Days and be like, damn, dude, me too, though. Like, that's me. But
Do you read Tokyo These Days?
what was that?
What you said you? I'm still trying to
No.
make a compilation of
Tokyo
magazines and websites.
Tokyo These Days. It's a Taiyo Matsumoto work about like an old guy making like getting a comic magazine of like all weird artists he knew, and I'm like, damn, dude, same though.
Like I say, Andrew, you're gonna have to compile me a big list of recommendations and weird websites.
Yes.
Because you are on top of this. This is awesome.
Well, comics are my secret. Like, if other people weren't doing it just fine, if there weren't already a million small press comic publishers, I'd be doing something in there. But there's already a million small press comic publishers, and they're doing the good work.
Do it, man. If it's something you gotta get out, that's the
Yeah.
main thing. Doesn't
I
matter
lived
how
to
many
become
people
the
are doing
subject
it.
of an experimental 2-hour video essay made 20 years. To be fair, I do tell a lot of people about Game Tank when I'm in person. I do tell people about
Oh, I saw Game Tank at that same
Yes.
PAX that I saw
Tank,
you at.
there's
That's
another
so
one.
cool.
The hell is
Agumander in the
Game
I
chat
thought
is
that was so cool.
Agumander in the
Game
chat
Tank
is
is like someone.
Yeah.
I just learned about this. Some guy built his own like 8-bit game console hardware and
Yes.
has like a bunch of games that run on it, and you can like build it yourself at home. I think.
Yes,
but
it is
This is
crowdfunding.
what I'm talking about.
It is
This is
crowdfunding.
exactly what I'm talking about.
Is crowdfunding until the 26th, and I mentioned that because the person who made it just commented in the chat.
Oh wow, nice.
What do you
Yeah.
look up to? Is it on Kickstarter or?
Crowd Supply, which is like a I assume it's more like a hardware centric one. But yeah, no, it's
I just want to say I have like 10 tabs up right
Yes.
now of just stuff. This is awesome.
but on Virality, I was thinking about like a bit of a line that kind of like hit me super hard in a semi recent volume of Blue Period that I had read was like one of the teachers just said something to the effect of like, it's real unfortunate that like to be successful in art you have to be popular when like popularity and art like aren't related, you know, or popularity shouldn't be like the metric that we judge art. I forget the exact phrasing of it, but it was
Easy to get lost.
it was to that effect that it's like very unfortunate that popularity in art or popularity is necessary to be successful as an artist
yeah, and
financially.
that's kind of, it feels like there was one thing about like some arts culture in the past is that there was more like, I don't know, like there's like all the weird like reclusive 20th century authors or
Yes.
whatever. But now that feels like it kind of can't happen in the same way. I don't know. And
Right.
I don't know what caused that to happen in the first place. So
Right,
I
'cause
don't
the-
really
it
have
was-
like
it
an
was-
opinion, but like
It's
yeah,
it's a mixture of like it was way more restrictive to get published, you know.
right.
So like just
Yeah.
by nature of being published by like Penguin or whatever and getting
Right,
less
that's
stuff.
true. Yeah, you didn't have to like compete in the marketplace of insane people.
right. And then the internet is also a thing where you go for everything, you know. You log on to Instagram and literally everything is there, not just video
Right, it's not like
games.
I'm going to read a book. I wonder
Yeah.
what book I should read. It's like I'm going to
Yeah.
non-specific. Like
Right. So it's like, you know, and that's where I think that's where a specialized more specialized in person, you know, that's why, you know, you don't want to give an RIP to a free play, you know, because there are so few specialized like independent game events in the world. There's like 3, you know.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think Now Play This just ended, so, and like IGF has never quite been one of those. I don't know if Indiecade is around, but I don't know when their events are.
How does it work in America? Is it like, do you guys have to travel states to get to
Yes.
the big, or like the conventions you need to go to? Because I know there's PAX,
PAX
but
one-
is there any
One PAX is
indie-
one PAX is in my state. The other PAX
Yeah,
is
PAX is in my city.
yes.
So,
Because in Australia, it's like it's super easy. The Sydney and the Melbourne scenes are kind of mixed.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people from Northern Territory that come down as well. But whenever something, you know, there's maybe like 3 or 4 major events in the year, and you see the same people. You know,
Yeah.
Sydney or Melbourne, people go to the different states for the weekend, and you see everyone at each event.
Yeah.
You know, Free Play or Games Week or.
Yeah, I came across that was the fun was like there was only like a couple people that I would see across like MagFest, PAX, and stuff like that. But I wish there was more of that. But there is like no,
Rough.
there's also like no like indie events, you know, or very
Really, there's
very few in like there are no indie events in the U.S. I don't think that are really like indie,
whoa.
that are indie in the way that I would say that they are indie.
This is like a whole thing because in Melbourne and Sydney, you know, PAX is I'm going to say the only major, you know, people that, oh, I play, Valorant.
Yeah.
Not making fun of those people.
Sure.
But they go to PAX,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they don't go to Free Play. They don't go to Angles. They don't go to Games Week. There's like, I'm going to say there's like 10 events throughout the year. There's
Right.
a new one in Sydney, Alt X. But all these game developers travel to all of them. There's like an overwhelmingly amount of, like a major amount of indie games festivals in Australia compared to, I guess, just PAX.
Yeah. No,
And, like, tons and stuff.
There are indie game festivals. Like there's a local indie game festival in Boston, even, which is in Massachusetts. But it is not like the other attendees are not. They're independent games, but they're not indie in the way that I am thinking of indie. The way that like maybe Free Play or Amaze is, that flavor of indie. That's more like.
And community is so important to keeping this thing alive.
Right.
Keeping passion alive, keeping people talking about weird stuff.
Yeah.
People say it all the time in Australia.
Yeah, there are definitely like
little things.
There are definitely smaller, groups. There's Boshi's place down in New York. That is
Boshi's, yes. There's a
like,
similar one, Sabi, in Melbourne, and
yes.
we've done a collaborative event with Boshi's place.
Yes, I know, and I think I know some of the people around Sabi too. I think.
Oh, cool.
If I remember correctly.
Come down sometime, Andrew. That'd be sick.
I mean, the benefit of doing this stuff for like forever is I just kind of eventually just know everybody.
That's awesome.
Who I don't know. Well, Sabi, I don't know if does anyone run. I don't know if anyone runs. I guess some people do.
Well, now it's a co-op.
Yeah. So
Sabi's done really, really well this last year. They've gotten funded by the whole community.
Yeah.
And now they're in a bigger place. They're doing really well, but
yeah, and I think part of it is like the U.S. is super spread out, and we have so many cities, like so a couple, maybe some have like more scenes in that than I just don't know about, like I don't know what the flavor of the like. Trying to think of which one. I'm like I actually have been to a decent amount of them, in the course of my travels. I want to collect. When I went to the Portland Retro Game Expo, that's when I realized that I want to start collecting stickers from the local scenes and put them on my giant suitcase.
That's sick.
So all I have is like Boston Indies and Pig Squad right now, but I want to slowly build up like different stickers as I travel around the world. But there aren't. I would say there are not really like. And I think that is partially just the community, like you say. Like the communities that are around a lot of these events are just more traditional games style communities. So you end up with like more traditional games, people submitting their games to that kind of thing. And also more traditional games, people judging these kinds of games.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
yeah, you kind of have to have the indie scene of people that make indie games that also want to play indie games.
Right. I have a giant. I'm pointing across my room to a shelf which I have a giant Rat King level of vendor badges hanging off of a shelf.
That's sick.
As I slowly accumulate them from all over the place.
Rat King.
Yes, a Rat King where a bunch of tails get
like
all
the tails, right? Yeah. And it's just
Yeah.
messy. Yeah, that's sick.
It's a giant mess
I need
of.
to get more posters. I need more stickers. Is what I need.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have my giant. The worst one is the Magfest one because it's a weird shape, and a lot of times at events I will use, if I need to make someone a new cassette on the fly, I will fold it with my event badge. But the Magfest one is a weird shape, so I couldn't do that with that one because it wasn't flat. It was like a weird, like oval, like jagged oval thing. A cool design, but for my very
You just gotta give up and do sticker bumps,
Yeah, but for my
just put stuff on top of each other.
Yeah, it was the problem with my very specific use case that I used badges for. It didn't work.
Yeah, badges. I don't collect badges, but
Yeah, I've got a lot of them, but because I'm like, oh, it feels weird to throw them away.
how do you collect them? Like, what's the process? How do you stick them together?
Oh, I don't. I just they're all still in their lanyards, and I just hang them from a shelf I have
Nice.
lying around, like an old media.
Yeah, you gotta get a jacket. I knew this dude, Billy, that had like this jacket he wore every single day, and it was just pins and badges and like a sticker bomb, but it was just collecting them.
Yeah,
He wore it like a sick.
yeah. I need to. I don't have very many. I have like 3 pins on my bag, and then I also don't take that bag anywhere anymore because I got a backpack that works much better for what I need to do, rather than my laptop bag. But anyway, oh god, we are cresting near 3 hours, so we're gonna start wrapping. See, the problem with this like late night show is that I've already eaten, so I'm like,
Oh, you're not like, I'm hungry. I gotta
yes,
call it off.
right. The hunger clock doesn't set in, so I'm just like I just start cruising.
Apocalypse all night.
I mean,
Let's do it.
I am getting dangerously close to the pledge drive, like the next pledge drive I need to do, which is like every 10 issues or so, which is like an 8-hour stream. Maybe I'll just do it forever. I'll just keep on doing it.
What is that?
A new stream that just goes until Indiepocalypse makes all its money back, which might just be,
Sick.
which is a lot of money.
Start streaming and never stop.
Yeah, I think that is like $70,000 or something,
Ooh.
which is not all the money I've spent on it. That's because I have to. I take 20% of it, of course. So that
That off by saying once again, the thing you're doing is so important.
Yeah.
It is
No,
so
it's
important.
it's really cool. I really appreciate it as a thing.
Well, thank you. No, I mean
Conserving games and just having them up. I don't know how long itch.io is going to go for, but
Hey,
you
that's-
get those physical copies too, and
Yeah.
they'll
Also, you can just buy from my
They'll
own
go for
website.
hours.
That's why I have
Yeah.
there you go.
I have it on just.
And also just like
You know,
I think it's a cool thing in that like it like just caring about this kind of game and like making like putting in the effort to kind of like find them and I don't know. Yeah, just caring about it.
Right. I mean, that it's just a natural extension of like, yeah, I'm not going to buy a car. I already have a car, and I don't want to buy another car anytime soon. Like I just paid off this
Yeah.
car. I don't want to buy more cars.
You might as well put that into something else.
I
that you
did. I did.
care
I put it
about.
into
Yeah.
people paying for people to write about the games in Indiepocalypse. Like
Hey, that's great.
that. Like I coincidentally started paying for people to write features about games in Indiepocalypse after I'd paid off my car loan. So that's
so
why there's
cool.
now
That's so cool.
one feature a month about a game or developer within Indiepocalypse.
It seems a bit selfless that you're doing this, like from the outside, and I think it's just it's really cool that you're doing it. So,
The way I like to think of it is just like the world, a weird reverse Patreon that I run, where people send me cool games every month because I just pay a bucket, and then the bucket gives me back cool games every month.
it's awesome.
Um,
It's really cool.
But like I said, it's like if I, when I go to my local indie comic show once a year, I fill a tote bag with like almost a book from almost everybody there, or like I probably hit half the tables at least, or maybe a quarter. I think there's more tables than I'm judging, but I get a lot. Like I like art, and I like people just out there. Yeah, you know what the thing I am doing is like here's my new pitch for 2026. I see a lot of angel investors out there who start up businesses with a lot of intentions, and all those businesses fail. Indiepocalypse has been a failing business for 6 years. Give me $1 million, angel invested money.
Yeah.
like don't whatever weird endeavor you want to do, whatever like indie startup you want to make, whatever indie game publisher.
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
They're gonna set the money on fire anyway.
Yes, if you're gonna set your
might
money
as
on
well.
fire to make a new microblogging platform for no real reason, that is now no longer exists, you could have given that all that
It's
money,
cool, Andrew. It's cool.
and I would
That's
have
weird.
likewise not returned your investment all the same, but I would have given
Made the same amount of money.
you would have made and lost the same amount of money, but also a bunch of artists would have gotten a ton of money off of it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Which is like the end goal of this thing. It's just getting more people more money, which is why I want to be. Which is part of why I'm like, I need to figure out how to get this thing to make more money.
I don't think it's. I mean,
Yeah.
from my perspective, it's like not at all about
Yeah,
the money.
I don't think it really
From, like,
is.
just it's about you know, the curation and getting the like we were saying before, like getting the whole normal people just scrolling through itch.io. I mean, if you're on itch.io, I guess
Yes.
you're already kind of surrounded by indies, but like curating 10 little recommendations a month or whatever.
Yeah, it's why I go to PAX.
Um,
Yeah,
Yeah.
spreading
Putting
the
it
word,
easy.
Yeah,
the gospel.
and like, I make back my money at PAX. I make like $2,000 in sales a day at PAX. That's
Sweet.
a lot of that's like 100 tapes a day basically at PAX.
Awesome.
Like people are buying stuff, so people are interested.
Yeah. People are interested. They just don't know.
Right,
They
right.
need to know.
Right. I mean, in the percentage of
No.
PAX attendees, that's probably what, like 0.01% of all attendees.
Yeah.
But
But still, like,
Yeah.
and I think there's a lot of people out there. Sorry to
yeah,
interrupt.
no go.
Who are like, especially these days, people are very like, oh, I wish I knew what the like alternative to the, the current thing was.
Yeah.
But I just don't know.
Right.
And like, yeah.
And yeah, that is
Like
the
spreading
person
the word.
Weird.
I think about a lot of like how does that person find stuff?
Right.
We need video game hipsters. We never had them. We need them.
Yeah.
Like
For me, it's like now I got a full-time job.
Yeah.
I'm just going off Indiepocalypse. That's the
I mean,
Hey,
I not to. I think it's a good selection. I think it's not going wrong there, honestly. Like especially as I
It's easy.
have been getting like more hands-on with it, and I'm like, really like I'm aiming for like technically 3 because there's a commissioned developer, but like aiming for at least a minimum of 2 people that I'm handpicking at the very least. I might even do more. I want to. This is something about like just want to get my hands in it, because there are
Yeah.
that list you alluded to, Cassowary, is like 2,100 games long.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I have played games in that list and I just have not moved them over to like I've had to make a secondary list that exists to play to the sequel to
Right.
the sequel to play, which is basically games that I know I've already played and rated. So for my own organizational thing. But there is like so much like. It's easy for me to like when I look back and I'm like, damn, indie devs are cooking like hard. They're doing so much cool stuff.
indie devs are cooking.
There's so much cool stuff
I'm
out there.
saying.
Yeah. Like, and like it feels like disappointing that like culturally like it's not been like. It feels like there's just like too like even as like more people go independent like publication and coverage wise, it's like they're still just like talking about Pokemon or whatever, or like flavor of the month
Yeah,
stuff.
it feels like almost like a self-reinforcing kind of like thing almost.
Yeah. Like
Well, we gotta write about Pokemon because that's all anyone ever cares about.
Right, like
Anyone
you-
ever hears about. Like,
yeah. So like even when they're independent, it's like you can take the writer out of IGN, but you can't take the IGN out of the writer. And I think YouTube's got even worse. like YouTube and Twitch. Although like there are pockets of it, I think it's just a generational thing. It feels like the 2010s people who came up in 2010 space are just kind of stuck in the industry brain. I think it is, to encapsulate, I think the games industry is a small part of what video games as an art form are, in the same way that that's true about every other medium, you know.
Yeah.
You would not think that the music industry, the quote unquote industry side, encapsulates all music.
Right.
But a game's just that split is just less identifiable.
Yeah.
But now it's fully over 3 hours. So now, unless anyone does anyone have any non-promotional? Because of course, like any proper show, as we hit the end, we'll get to all sorts of fun promotion. But anything non-promotional that they want to say before we get to the promotional segment of the show?
I think all three you guys are really cool. What you guys do is cool. As I briefly looked through, the stuff you do is cool. And keep making stuff. Keep making weird stuff.
Yeah.
Please.
Same. I think I was looking through your guys' stuff too. I think it's really neat.
Same here.
I see. That's it's the secret of, like, I always think, like, worst case scenario, each Indiepocalypse contributor each gets 9 new fans, you know,
Yes.
among their fellow contributors. And this shows, you know, the show is basically about putting people in the same room together, you know.
Yeah.
Like what is the event that we would all be at, you know, the theoretical event
Right.
that, like, it would. I have no idea what it would be, you know.
You know, I'm not saying you guys should pay
Go.
visit to Melbourne, but I'm saying you guys should pay visit to Melbourne.
I would
and
love to.
come to some events.
Someone was like, "Hey, what'll it take to get you to New Zealand?" And I was like, "Hey, I don't know. I'd love to, though."
Like $1,000.
Yeah, $1,000.
Fortunately, America's kind of out of the way. Australia's an island, but
Yeah. That
if
whole,
it
like,
wasn't,
Australia, New Zealand area, kind of out of the way for me.
I mean, Florianopolis is also an island.
Yes, right.
So
Yeah, so it's like
I want to come to Brazil sometime, Bruno.
please
You just
do.
wait.
Yes, no,
I'll
I
come
mean,
to your indie
like
scene.
like that is and I am fortunate that I get a lot of it, you know. But like, not only Brazil, but like, just, you know, every pocket of South America is like a giant game making scene that is like wholly unrepresented, it feels like, within mainstream games. Even though there's, like, you know, it's full of a ton of countries, full of a bunch of people with all different styles and approaches to making games.
Seen there's someone that's been on the show in Chile. I'm
Yes.
looking at this map that you have.
Yes, no. Oh yeah.
Argentina.
I did count 42 countries so far
Whoa,
Nice.
Have
that's
report-
so cool.
have reported
Wow.
have reported as contributors.
Oh, what is this? There's one. Someone from Africa. Oh, it's an off island.
Oh yeah.
Can't see what.
I can tell you what it is because I have. I think is that not Madagascar?
It's like
Is,
Irish.
like
what is it?
Is that the Canary Isles?
Is it Cabo? No.
Cabo
No.
Verde? It's not Cabo Verde.
It's not Cabo Verde.
I think it's the Canary Islands, maybe.
Let's have a look. Anyway, I don't want to bring you over time, but
No. I mean that's why I start winding down.
oh yeah, sweet.
Yes, up in the northwest part of it, right?
Yeah, that looks like Canary Islands.
Yeah.
I'm going to map, yeah.
Yes. That is the Canary Islands, but yeah, no, and technically, you know, someone from Orbis Terratus had spent some time in. I think I got that. I think I said that right. I did say it right. No, Tertius. You know, I forgot how to say that word. They made the Tunnel for Indiepocalypse. They made the Fall and Rise of Sad Cock upon Avon. Maybe I'm trying to think of what their or is Imaginaria. That's the other fun thing about like indie devs. Are like, what is their most famous work? And like, I don't know. They make a lot of cool stuff.
Awesome.
But one of them has spent time as a researcher in Antarctica, so I'm counting that as all 7 continents.
I was gonna say this map doesn't cover Antarctica,
Well,
and
they didn't never
I
live
wouldn't be
there.
surprised.
What about our
That's so cool.
penguin game devs?
Yes, they haven't submitted anything yet.
Santa. Yeah.
Or they
Sounds
have,
like-
and they opted not to fill out a contributor profile.
Ah, yes.
But yeah, no, generally like that's another thing I think about constantly is like I got to get people from all over, like
Mhm.
yeah, I got to pin. I do want to make a better version of this map, but I'm not like a web dev. I have a web dev friend.
Is that Hawaii?
Yeah.
Did you?
No, not Hawaii. That's,
Someone's from Hawaii.
no, that's Guam. I think you're talking about Guam. Because Hawaii,
Guam.
I think so. I think there have been some people maybe.
The one to the right.
Yeah,
all the way to the right.
Yeah, that's Guam.
The island. Guam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, that would be Guam. Hawaii's on the left-hand side, unrepresented so far.
Right. So far.
So far as I know, but I did get Alaska in terms of the non-contiguous
awesome.
U.S.
That's so sick.
There you go.
But 42 countries. A lot of states even like hitting a lot of parts of the U.S. Obviously,
Wow.
California, New York, very oversized compared to the rest. But we're hitting like Tennessee's and Virginia's.
Yeah. We got some Wisconsin.
Yeah. Got some Wisconsin game rep, 3 of them out of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But it
Got
is
some middle of Canada. Anyway,
Yes.
Yeah.
no, it is a thing like it's a thing that like Bandcamp is often decent enough at of with their features of like they'll be like here's of an article about goth metal from Peru. And then you'll just get like picking out local scenes and finding different like countries in the world in different regions and being like, yeah, hey, look, tons of people make stuff, even though the nature of events and all those sorts of things kind of focus everything on like the US.
Yeah, I feel like I only see people from US doing this whole everything stuff that I see online.
Yeah,
And
like
it's cool to see that it is not true.
when people say, I often think when people say we talk about game devs, they usually just are referring to like North America, England, some of Europe, and Japan. And when they say North America, they don't mean Mexico also.
Yeah.
But they just mean U.S. Canada. When there's like no, that's like anyhow.
Yeah. It's hard with the language barrier and
Yeah.
stuff too. Like with
It is,
research,
right.
just, like get that kind of stuff out there.
Right, because it requires like people to like know English,
Yeah.
or for me to
I've
know.
played a couple or for you to know a different language.
And like I can fumble my way through Spanish,
Yeah. I've played a couple like Spanish RPG Maker games that were kind of cool.
Yeah. No, I have a dev coming up who's like, please include my Brazilian Portuguese version. I said yes,
Nice.
I will. Skate RPG notably includes the Gringo edition, which is the version in English. When their original is in Brazilian Portuguese. But yeah, it is like we are beholden a lot of people just like having to learn English for a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and that games are trickier to translate than other things,
Yes. There's a lot of weird like context and things that are trying to get like
and even like mechanically, like the mechanics of you can't put subtitles over something,
Right. Yeah.
the same way.
I like how translation in games is such a talked about thing, or more than you'd expect. There's this book series. I can't. Sorry, I realize I'm
Yes.
probably yapping, but
That's what the show just keeps doing.
Legends of Translation or something.
Yes, that
Oh,
is.
Legends
um,
of
Is that
Localization.
what it is?
Yeah.
Localization.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like a whole series of books of how that game was localized. So cool.
Yeah, and it is like I mean, that also dips into the weirdness of like, if you really want to highlight how bad games are at like, like how bad localization is in video games. You just remember that Mother 3 isn't officially out in English.
That's so
Yeah.
sad.
Even
You
though
can still play it though. The
Right.
translation's really good. I highly recommend it.
Yes, even though
Oh,
you
man.
wouldn't be able to guess it based on how like its cultural footprint in
Yeah.
English speaking.
Man, I love Mother 3. Mother 3 to me is like, people are like, when are video games gonna get their Citizen Kane? It's like they already made it. They just didn't translate it.
We already got it. But we can't experience it. I got
Yeah.
Mr. Satin looking at me right next to my desk. I just went to
Nice.
Japan a few months ago.
Oh, that's
and,
awesome.
But now they're also I love that they're also like translating like bullshit too. Like I love that ancient Roman is translated.
Wild.
If you're unfamiliar, Ancient Rome was like a classic terrible RPG for the PS1.
Oh.
I am unfamiliar actually. That's an RPG.
Yes. Yeah, like it's a classic bit of just like real trash. But it is
This is so sick. I have like 12 tabs open.
Yes,
of
ancient
things
Rome.
we've talked about during this podcast.
Ancient Rome and Power of Dark Side. It's like busted.
Is that like the equivalent of games to movies of like what is it? Super Babies 2 or something? What's the worst movie of all time? Epic movie?
Yeah, or like The Room.
People love The Room.
Yeah.
You can't hate on The Room.
I-
Ancient Roman power.
and
I watched The Room with my friends like a few weeks ago, and it's honestly very dreamy. I feel like there's just
It just
something about
sort of-
the way it's shot that's unironically like very ethereal. I like that a lot about The Room.
The plot is also kind of Dream Logic-esque.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that is
absolutely.
it's one of those things of like the power of like intentional art, whether they made something that was good or not. But like it's fascinating because like that dude made what he wanted to make,
Yeah.
and maybe
Yeah,
that
I think
He
that's
came
why
to
even
Australia.
bad things can be really compelling.
yeah.
Mm.
Right, it's like the worst art is like mediocre art.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's so true.
yeah, it's like there's anyhow, video games. They're a thing.
I digress.
Yes. I'm trying to play video games. I've been playing a lot of video games, so I'm trying to play more. I've been doing like a video game sampler players to try to find out what I want to play.
You know what I need? I need someone to post like a list of 1,000 of their top picks of video games, their personal top picks, and we need more of that.
Yes, there's
'Cause I go off recommendations.
there's a very bad GQ list that I think about a lot that lives in my brain because it's like it's a best of list, but it's also basically like no, I'm not old. I can stay up all day. I can. This is 10 o'clock. I'm gonna be up until like 2 o'clock in the morning.
God.
Maybe waiting for things to update, depending on how long I'm gonna wait for something to update. But yeah, so Andrew's Hot Rex? I gotta say, what was
Please.
I meant to drop those in the Discord of like games for people to play of like my recent stuff that's like, damn folks, you got to play this, and that is
Like real stuff.
Yes.
I need the good stuff.
you want some good stuff. I'm telling you right now,
Top of the line.
stories of Ihatovo. top line, fucking rules. You also find it going by
Stories
or-
of.
Ihatovo.
Gonna have to spell it for me.
You'll also find Ihatovo. You'll also find it going. I'm going to paste it in here. You'll also find it going as Ihatovo Monogatari often on the internet.
Okay.
It is a Super Nintendo adventure game.
Oh.
That's rough.
And
That's rough.
and it is like a perfect like encapsulation of like an anthology style story, like an adaptation of an anthology, because it is an adaptation of like an author's work, and you play as kind of like a nameless protagonist, sort of like wandering through these works. It's just good, like it just like nails that kind of like passive observer, or like you're active but like observing your way through these stories, and it's just good. So like my three recs that came like rapid fire, like it would be that it'd be for a classic thing. I think I talk about constantly on the show, but man, I love Portopia Serial Murder Case. Is just very good.
Autopia?
Portopia Serial Murder Case. Or Serial Murder File? What is it? Portopia... it is Portopia Serial Murder Case. It's like Yuji Horii is one of his first games. And it's like a very early adventure game, like visual novel style adventure game. But there's just like so much fun stuff you can do in it, like, and it's like a tight little mystery, and there's a lot of neat stuff you can do in it.
The art is so simple.
Yeah, I think it was like a PC 88 PC. When did it come out on? I forget what it originally came out on. I played the NES port of it. It was originally one of those Japanese computers. Or was I don't know if it was a Sharp or whatever it was. PC 6000 or 6001, and then went to Sharp's other PC 88s, FM Towns, not FM Towns. FM Towns is the console anyway. Or no, FM Towns Marty is Japanese microcomputers. They went to a lot of them, and then they did a weird AI thing, and like that sucks. Forget about it.
I love talking about games to people that love games, because you could just nonstop all day. I could talk to you guys about this for, I guess for you guys all night, but
yes.
So cool hearing recommendations and hearing them, like, people be excited about this stuff.
Yeah.
No,
I freaking love
it's the best. So cool.
Serial Murder Case is so good. It's so much like weird, goofy stuff you can do in it, but it's also very serious, but also kind of, it's just a good, like a real tight adventure game, and like it's very good about recognizing the things you would want to do, and you're poking around the edges of it. Like it's one of those.
Cool.
It's one of those like verb based ones. But it kind of accounts for a lot of you poking around at the edges of things.
I do like that kind of thing. Like anticipate, like a lot of what is like fun in a game is like poking at it and like squiggling around in the like part that you're only like ambiguously supposed to notice.
Right. And
so I like when things like kind of acknowledge that.
Yeah, and then realizing that people are going to poke around in these weird corners.
Yeah. Right. And putting something there for them.
Yeah, it's just a very charming, very, very charming adventure game. And then my final rec. I'm saying these so that I remember to post them. There's a game.
Yes. No, I have them all in tabs.
There's a game club tab I have in the Discord. I like that the Discord is very quiet and that it doesn't do very much, so that means I don't have to moderate it. And I also don't like being like a personality that has a Discord, so to speak. That's
Discord mod.
That feels like a weird thing where it's like, hey guys, welcome to my Discord. I'm the celebrity of this Discord because I made it.
My sister got called a Discord mod by one of the kids that she worked with the other day, and she's like, "What does this mean?" What? I'm like,
That is funny.
It's
Oh,
it's a good thing.
a-
It's a good thing. Uh,
Yeah,
It's not it's being called a Reddit mod at least.
it's not as bad. Okay, true.
this is a side path, but I don't know if this is good, but I like Spelunker. Spelunker is cool.
But now I've heard of Spelunky. I
Spelunk-
haven't heard of Spelunker.
Spelunker kind of sucks, but Spelunker kind of rocks, and Spelunker's music rips at the same
Hell
time.
yeah.
Like
Yes.
if you ever played, I think it's in Cat Mario. I think Cat Mario has Spelunker music in it. I know it definitely has Cheetah Man music in it. I think it also has.
That's awesome.
Are you familiar with Cat Mario? Or
I am very familiar with Cat
Okay,
Mario. I
yes.
grew up on that.
Yes. So Cat Mario has a song from Spelunker in it. It has a Cheetah Man song, but also a song from Spelunker in it. But
Sick.
my actual third hot rec is Baroque. They're like the Saturn version of Baroque.
Okay, so Spelunker. Let me be clear.
Yeah.
Spelunker was not a recommendation.
Spelunker's a side recommendation.
Okay, side. I'm gonna put this. Oh, my Chrome's about to crash. What were you gonna say?
Baroque.
Baroque.
Like the art style. BROQUE.
BAROQ.
Yes, I think I misspelled that.
Baroque. Now, Cassowary or Bruno, if you guys are still
Yeah.
rocking, do you guys have any weirdo Rex?
Uh,
It is Rex. Doesn't have to be weird.
my favorite. This is not actually that weird, but I really enjoyed OOO last year, and the guy who made its other game, Alec Head.
Oh
is
yeah.
really good.
Yes.
And that's on itch and Steam, I think. Haven't played a lot of games in the last little bit, honestly.
Yeah. I also only play old games and Indiepocalypse stuff.
I definitely do recommend Mother 3 to people who haven't played it, and Earthbound.
I've played Earthbound. I haven't played Mother 3.
If you've played Earthbound, you gotta play Mother 3. It's really
You
good.
gotta. Okay. No, it's really good.
I made a list. Hold on, a little while ago.
I probably recommend La La Land 1 through 5 by Bigged.
Yes.
And I think pretty much any Kimberly Cubis game. As a matter of fact, I just have to. I think there's a place where you can find the La La Land games.
Yeah, they're on. I know they're on My Abandonware.
They're also on a site called Game Maker Games.
Okay.
Which I was gonna say that I could only find them through Wayback Machine, but then I remembered that wasn't true. There was another site that was Game Maker Games.
Yeah.
But yeah, these games are awesome. I'd also recommend pretty much any Kimberly Cubis game, because you just think that those are games that are like, they're raw as fuck, and they're like sometimes you can't even sometimes they're damn near impossible to play. But I think that that's part of the charm, absolutely. And also the nose mechanic where the player just stretches out his nose to latch onto another platform. That's awesome. I'm also a big fan of Kimberly Cubis' music. He has a song about the Pope sucking his dick, and it has this really cool MIDI organ. It's really cool. Rest in peace, Kimberly Cubis.
Oh, that's sad.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought of some weird Flash games that I can recommend from the olden days. These are on
Okay. Yes.
Flashpoint. I really like this game, Menulis, Menulis, which also has I think there's an earlier one, but I like the second one better.
Wait, what was that? MENU.
LIS.
Okay.
These are like games that like nobody remembers.
Yes,
except for me.
I mean that's
there's
the beauty of Flash.
Yeah, there's a great game When the Bomb Goes Off, which is like a fun. It's like a WarioWare mini game thing, but the conceit is that it's everyone's last action before a bomb explodes. Um,
Sick.
and that's by the same guy who did like Run Man Race Around the World, I think. There is a game, The Company of Myself, which I think was relatively well known, but that game's really good.
Of myself. This is gonna load me up for the next week.
Oh, and Baby's Dream of Dead Worlds, which is by Gregory Avery Ware, who came up earlier. And that game's good too.
Dead Worlds game. Whoa. Okay, sweet.
And then there's a game called
Whoa.
Caverns, which I like. I don't know. There's a lot of
Yes.
Flash games. I could list these all day.
Right. No, I'm
Cool,
likewise.
okay.
I'm like when you all start talking about like Mother, I'm like, have you played? You gotta play. You also gotta play Tulip though. Like
Tulip.
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 Yeah. Tulip's
Game.
Tulip's a game about going around kissing people.
Yes. No, you know what? I have seen Tulip.
Yes. Tulip. Tulip. Real good.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Because I could also start dipping into like the kind of trashy stuff that I like, you know. Like I like Valis, but I don't know if I'm gonna tell anyone to play Valis, you know. Valis. They're like kind of trashy, like PC Engine action games, but they have anime cutscenes, which is kind of neat. I don't know, they're kind of trashy, but I kind of like the kind of like trashy action platformer kind of era.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to think if there's anything that immediately jumps out to me that's like, yeah, this is a must. I mean, you can play through the Welcome House games in like 2 hours, in like 3 or 4 hours, I think.
The Welcome
House. They're like weird comedy adventure games that Gust made. You know, then you can use that to get into Gust and start like, what's Atelier? Let me learn about what Atelier is.
Oh, Game 3 made a video about it.
Oh, okay.
The Welcome House.
Yeah, they're like
That's sick.
weird little, tiny little like comedy games. They're just like on the PlayStation. Anyhow, video games. There's a lot of them. Like that is me like restricting myself to not talking about like indie video games, you know.
There's a game, Lack of Love. It was only released in Japan.
Yes, that's another Punchline, which is who due to Tulip. I believe.
Sorry?
I believe that's by Punch. I believe that's when they were calling themselves Punchline.
Is it? Love Delic.
No, okay, that was the Love Delic era. Punchline is
Yeah, that's.
but it's like
the
a lot of the
people that
same
made,
a lot of the same
movies?
people from Love Delic went to Punchline.
Well, I found Lack of Love because the composer for it is one of my favorite musicians, and he's from Yellow Magic Orchestra.
Okay. Yeah.
Ryuichi Sakamoto, and he doesn't ever do video games, but he did it for this, and he's made the most beautiful, like, piano, weirdo music for it. And then I looked up the game, and it's about like peeing on on animals to scare them away and stuff. It's so sick.
Yeah, well, I played a little Lack of Love earlier, and it's like, yes, it is less approachable than it, like of the like Punchline, Onion, Love the Lick, all these people, Kenichi Nishi extended universe or whatever. Oh man, that man worked on Psycho Dream. Hell yeah, dude. I don't know.
Sick.
I don't know if Psycho Dream is. Psycho Dream also lives within that like trashy action platformer kind of thing. You know, that Telnet Japan Riot people.
Yeah, I played Psycho Dream, but I never got really deep into it. It's on the Nintendo Switch online,
Okay.
like Super Nintendo service. I played it because it had a cool cover, and then I'm like, oh, this is not my game.
Yes, no, it does have a cool cover. He worked on Chibi Robo, man. Chibi Robo rocks.
Chibi-Robo's A classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyhow, good video games. A lot of good video games out in the world.
Many.
There's a lot out there.
Yeah.
And it's really important to suggest, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found this not to oh man. Every time I speak, I'm like, I remember the fact that you said, "Oh, we're actually 3 hours over time."
Yeah, that's fine.
So apologies, but I'll be quick. But like, you know, we need more people saying, "Oh, this is my top 5 games,"
Yes.
and then people playing them and then
Right.
recommending to other people. That's how we get past the idea of, like, you know, things being fed to us.
Yes.
The big
Yeah.
the big stuff that
What
doesn't
are
actually.
what are
the
your
Pokemons,
letterbox
you know?
top 4? Or I guess what are your backlogged top 4?
I was gonna say backlogged. Yes, I found backlogged. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But I do prefer just talking to people and just
Yes.
saying, "Hey, what's your top 5?"
Exactly.
Because then it sticks out a bit more.
Right. You know, this year or the end of last year, whenever I played them. Oh, the end of last year into this year, it was the first time I played, you know, Snatcher and Police Knots. I'm like, damn, this dude is kind of cooking with something. This Hideo Kojima guy is kind of on something, I think. And like,
I saw him in real life. He came to Australia just a few months ago.
and you'd be
Crazy.
like, man, you like movies, don't you? He's like, yes. Ryuichi Sakamoto did pass recently. That also,
Yes.
you know, another wreck, freaking Yellow Magic Orchestra, you know,
I love Yellow Magic Ghost Show.
is I'm pretty sure I was trying to look. He did music for a game that I was like just playing. I don't think he did the entire soundtrack or whatever.
Ryuichi Sakamoto.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like you said like theme by Ryuichi Sakamoto. But I forget. I'm like, what? He did that theme?
He's so cool. He's so cool. And he's everywhere.
Yeah.
But he's just, yeah, so sick.
Oh, it was Dawn of Mana. He did the theme for Dawn of Mana, I think.
See, I didn't know that. He's made so much music. What's Dawn of
Mana.
Mana?
It's like it's a late period mana, late period Seiken Densetsu or mana game. I played like the first. This is me doing my, my sampler platter of like, let me just try a bunch of stuff. Like, what am I gonna play through? And I think I'm gonna land on Suzuki Bakuhatsu as my next game I want to play through. If you've never seen Suzuki,
I'm telling you, I'm not even joking. My Chrome is about to crash. I have 20 tabs open.
yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna post this one. I'm gonna post this one in the chat for you, so you can look it up later. Look up Suzuki Bakuhatsu.
Is this stream still going? Are we still
Yes.
the podcast thing?
We are.
I could talk to you guys all day. This
Yeah.
is sick. I need more recommendations.
Yeah, no, Suzuki Bakuhatsu is
Suzuki.
about a girl who keeps finding bombs and shit. No, you can link on stuff. That's fine. Archive.org is a fine link.
That's sick.
Um,
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna use those websites you said before.
yes. But yeah, no, it's. I think a good as this came up when I searched Suzuki Bakuhatsu. A nice sign of quality for a video game is if you search for that video game online, and one of the first links is Hardcore Gaming 101. Then you know, like, damn, I got a good video game on my hands. Because usually
I need to be more
oh yeah,
connected to the internet.
Hardcore Gaming 101 is also like a pretty good resource because they
Perfect.
write about they are the ones who are usually writing about like weird fringe games more than anyone else. Like more than any website in terms of sheer volume. Like yeah, okay, they're podcasting about cyber swine, Anyhow, video games.
So cool. Video games.
We're shutting them
Video
down.
games.
Let's talk about them.
Shut them down, Jake. Hey, what's up?
Whoa!
If people want to find your work, where can they find it?
Oh god. Ooh, that's a good question. I'm gonna post on my Instagram. So I'm making 2 new games right now.
Okay.
My Instagram is jake.berry2.
Okay.
It is just my real face on there, and I don't have any posts, but that's where I'll put my stuff.
Perfect. And I'm going to post also, hey, if you want to play games that already exist, that's just jakeberry.itch.io.
jakeberry.show. That's it.
Is where those video games live, and you want an Instagram for future ones.
That's where you get them. That's where you get the stuff.
Yeah.
The good stuff.
That is like I found generation like another thing that is like reinforcing like the generational divide is like when I do new posts, like Instagram is doing about as good as Blue Sky does, and I only post on Instagram once and then shut the app forever. And Blue Sky,
Yeah, I never got into Twitter or Blue Sky.
yeah, it feels like old man shit.
I want to, but
honestly,
I'm sure it's better, you know, being up on a desktop instead of scrolling on your phone.
oh, I mean, I think I think any of them being on a desktop is better because often I just close the desktop and I don't look at it. It's about like not looking at the desktop. Cassowary, we talked about a lot of games. Where can we find your games?
Well, they are all on cassowary.itch.io, and they are also on cassowary.me, cassowary.me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm also on. I have like a couple. I'm on like Blue Sky and which is I think at cassowary.me, and I have Tumblr, cassowary-dev.tumblr.com.
I was trying to get into Tumblr. Like Tumblr seems cool. It seems like it's kind of
it's doing its own thing.
yeah. That's why I'm like Tumblr seems like it just exists on its own, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like anyone who's still there now is like just I don't know, but yeah, that's mainly I just post like updates there kind of sporadically.
Yes, yeah.
And then I have like other stuff that's like linked from those pages.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, Tumblr is the opposite of cool, and that's why I think Tumblr's pretty cool.
Yes, that's kind of why I maintain that.
Yeah.
I used to be on Twitter, but I always have kind of been a Twitter hater.
Yes.
Like since before it was cool to be a Twitter hater.
I'm an eternal.
So I kind of left
yes.
after a while.
Yes, right. When it felt like I was like, okay, now I can mentally justify, yeah, this website sucks. For moral reasons, not just because I hate also social media websites.
Yeah.
Because that is like I go I toast to any social media website ending because it means I no longer have to post on it.
Yeah, that was like I was really excited. I was like, yes, finally, I don't have to deal with Twitter anymore. And,
yes.
And Twitter still kind of exists, and now it just sucks. But like, whatever. I don't want to deal with it.
It exists in some sort of like vegetative state.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
It just says X, the Everything app, of course.
Yeah.
Which you can ask Grok to do. Dear Grok, make a video game for me. People occasionally still follow me on that. When I'm
I mean, people still. It's like
yeah,
it still is as functional as it was before, which is not that much.
Yeah. No,
I don't know. I don't even really like any of them.
No.
But I made like a Blue Sky account because I wanted to post like screenshots. Somewhere.
Yes, I post once a week about this show, and once a month about the Tape Club or a new Indiepocalypse, and then I'm out, living my life. Yes. I mostly because I found that like it feels like doing events. I get meaningful connection with people, and then trying to connect with people online feels like I'm banging my head against a wall.
Yeah, they make it so hard nowadays.
Because it also feels very small, you know? And it's like, 6 years in, all these people already know what Indiepocalypse is, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, what am I going to say? What magic alchemical combination of words am I going to say that's going to get this person to care about it 6 years in, you know?
Yeah. Especially at this point with how it all works.
Right.
But anyway, yes, cassowary.me is my normal website. Cassowary.itch.io is my itch.
Go straight to the video games.
And I have linked all my like profiles from there. So
from anywhere you can get to anywhere else. It's the smart linking of link trees. Bruno, hello.
Hello.
Where can people get your games?
Bruneiros.itch.io. That is bruneiros.itch.io. You can also find me on Instagram, bruneiros_, and on Twitter, or rather X, the Everything app, at InfoLeaks 2002. That is InfoLeaks 2002. Also, I'm working on NeoCities website, bruneiros.neocities.org.
Perfect.
That is bruneiros.neocities.org. And it's very much work in progress because there are a few dead links on the page if you do visit the website. But I'm going to be working on that real soon. So, yeah.
Perfect. And then I will say, the it's all about like to not start up an entire new conversation, but to to get into this little bit because I think it's an important thing of like. I think social media is good for if your work can do big and can go like big and fast on social media and go really wide. And I think social media has a strength. Just talking about Kuyu and the in-person networking has better longevity, but like a lot of people's work does not do that. Like a lot of people's work just does not fit into like the structure of social media, like success. And for them, I think in person or just like person to person work, like is way more effective. If I can only reach every single person in the world, eventually every person in the world will know what Indiepocalypse is. I just got to talk to them all individually.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
By one.
And then hopefully some of them will tell another person, speed up the process for me. Yes, there are. Koyu is a not technically usually just honorary contributor because I talk to other artists and identifiable as. It's like if it's when like Bonglord 69 starts rolling into the chat and I'm like, who are you, dude? Get out of here! I'm not. I can't talk to the chat. I'm talking to the people here. But of course, Indiepocalypse. You want to find that thing? Hey, that's just indiepocalypse.com. It's just my own goddamn website that I own. If you buy any of the most recent 3 issues, these people here will get some cash. Since you're also you're also new, so you don't know the I guess the pleasures of the once a year $5 US or $5 to $7 US deliveries through PayPal from me.
I do love $5 US.
Well, look forward.
Especially.
Give me a sandwich.
Yeah, look forward to it in 6 to 9 months from now.
Awesome,
Yeah.
especially because, thanks to this current economy,
Yeah.
$1 is 5 Brazilian reais, which means
That's
that
crazy.
I'll be getting 25 reais. That is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Also, money that my strong U.S. dollar, though increasingly getting weaker, but hey, it's doing all right for now.
And
I'll be getting
also,
$7.06
Yeah.
Australian, so that's fine.
25 reais in American terms is almost a Burger King burger.
Nice.
Almost.
Almost.
That is very cool.
Almost.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
As Americans, we understand everything in terms of burgers.
Yeah.
Burger King.
So imagine a
How many
burger.
burgers total are you?
It's all burger based economies.
BB.
Hell yeah.
But no,
So, if it is a burger-based economy, does this mean that
BBE.
Trump is the Burger King after all?
no, not my Burger King. I'll say that much.
Hashtag
Not
not
your
my
Burger
burger.
King. No Kings, no Burger Kings.
No Burger Kings.
No Burger Kings.
There is nice.
Awesome.
Burger Kings is great.
I stand by that.
Yes.
No Burger Kings.
There is nice. There's a lawyer that I drive by relatively, like an immigration law office, not near me, but like in a place where I drive by occasionally, and it has one of those signs that says "No Kings," but then it also says "No fascists, no Nazis." I'm like, it's nice to spell it out in plain language. I feel like sometimes saying "No Kings" goes too vague because technically we never had kings. It gets too abstract.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no. Yeah, no, we know what fascists are. We don't want them. They suck shit. What a country,
Yeah.
So put it in plain English.
Yeah.
I
And we didn't even get into food. We didn't even start. how I got truly obsessed with the democracy dog, and I think about it all the time. That particular cultural expert. That is Australia. I'm getting that right?
Was this?
The democracy. You guys are the ones with the democracy dogs, right? Or what do you
Where
call
are
them?
the democracy dogs?
What do you call them?
What do you call them?
Yeah, it's not democracy dog. Isn't there an Australian thing where there's like you go to polling places and they make a lot of hot dogs?
Oh wow. We call them Pluto pups, I think. I went to an AFL game the other day, and oh, you're talking about like a snack for
Wow.
bunnies.
Democracy sausage. That's what it was.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this exists.
I remember learning
wow.
Wow.
from a different guest, a different Australian guest, and maybe it's
Yeah, like $2. Yeah. I don't know what the word is, but
yeah, just like a cheap sausage in a piece of white bread.
yeah, like a sausage sizzle or like a bunning snag, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want Lula to do this here in Brazil, but with like pastel or coxinha, which would be like the more reasonable snacks for this instance.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lula, do this again. Do this for the first time actually here in Brazil. We need this democracy snacks.
Yes.
Full of action.
Democracy snacks.
Like
You could really get people on board
Right.
with that, I think.
like what does the American voting turnout look like if there's some real fucking dad like dudes just growing up dogs outside of a polling place, you know?
Yeah. I just learned about this, and now I'm in favor of it.
Yeah, you're like
Democracy burgers.
just some jorts, some dogs,
Democracy burger.
and the beauty of democracy.
Yeah.
Hell
If only
yeah.
voting day was like in July.
Yes, and not in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
Oh shit! This just reminded me that this is gonna be election year in Brazil. Oh
Anyhow,
fuck!
you could also
Anyway,
Yeah. Anyhow.
anyhow.
this is
Also,
supposed to be the end of the thing.
if you'd like to be a contributor, of course, indiepocalypse.com/submit is where you go to submit your games, and you could be on this show even one day in the future. Indiepocalypse.com/Patreon is what you think it is. It's Patreon. /tape is where you can order physical versions of Indiepocalypse, plus any number of, other indie game releases. The monthly indie game video game tape club just switched over this last Wednesday over to GB Rober, a very cool platform action shooter like about, hey man, getting your cash, That was a weird way to phrase it. The thing I learned when writing up other people's games is like, do not rewrite their copy because they write better copy than they would. It's just about fighting landlords, and getting you as a robot man. It's cool.
Ooh,
It's cool.
robot man.
Yes, the dev also has community copies up there. When people pay for more than $10, it queues up another community copy. Or hey, if you got 20K, throw them 20K. But for his 20,
I will have $5.
You have five.
Yeah, maybe. Right.
You have $5 at some point in the future.
I'm putting that to Indiepocalypse, number 120 something.
I am getting scarily close to 100.
Yeah, you're like
Is there any
3/4
plans
of
for
the way
the
there
for the
almost.
big
Yeah. No,
triple digits?
I am working on, like, you don't see in the background, but I've already chosen the games for 75. So I've selected 3/4 of the way there.
Uh-huh.
Very exciting.
So it is going to be weird. Maybe when 100, I can be like, this is a news thing because I did 100 of them. Is that news? I'll ask. I'm gonna dig out my graveyard or press release. And I go, I made and it's gonna be a simple email that says, I made 100 Indiepocalypse. Is that news? Anyhow,
You could sell every Indiepocalypse game for like how much?
Oh,
like,
fuck.
1,000?
I-
Something.
I forgot to update the guests on this show. I just noticed that.
Oh yeah. I
Oh,
saw
well.
that, but-
Oh well, live and learn.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect.
You can update like Twitch
Yeah.
recording descriptions after. the
I also
fact,
don't
right?
archive this because it has music in it.
Right.
I cut it out later and archive it on YouTube, where I'll have it all correct. Oh well. This is what you get with 7 p.m. Andrew.
Is this the longest podcast you've done, Andrew?
I think so, honestly, because we're hitting 4 hours.
4 hours?
Yeah. We're shutting it down. We're shutting it down. Bruno, Cassowary, Jake, thanks for joining me here today so much.
I almost want to keep
Thanks
like
for
bringing
having
up
me.
stuff. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you so much.
for hanging around. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for people who stuck it in through the long haul. It was weird when Koyu jumped in. I'm like, oh, you're late. The show's basically over, and then we went for like 2.5 hours. Anyhow, thank you all. Yes, unsurprisingly, person who makes indie games, or I guess I do also technically have made them occasionally, but person who likes indie games just runs their mouth about indie game recommendations, unsurprisingly, to nobody. Turns out that
Yeah, if
walk.
anyone's listening to this that has any good recs, put it on the Indiepocalypse Discord, because I'm trying to make a big list. I want to make a big list of recs.
Maybe I should just
Put it
make a
on that
rec
Discord.
channel that's just like, hey, throw your recs here. That's it. Just
Please,
throw
please.
in your recs. Nothing else. Like, I don't want any other bullshit in here. And also, like, I would get overly particular about, like, and it's got to be some shit that is not obvious. Anyhow, now actually ending the
Put
show.
the T-Rex emoji in there.
Yeah, T-Rex. Listen to T-Rex.
Oh, Rex. That's good.
Oh, Rex, yes, Rex. Here's my indie rec. Dinosaur Jr. There's my indie Rex. Anyway.
Dinosaur
Rock and
Jr.
roll.
Yes. Yes. You next one, just drop Yaoi Ichio games in the chat, and let them perpetuate through here. But
I'm excited. I'm pumped.
yeah, no, I'm trying to contain myself from talking about the Dinosaur Jr. picture, which is one of my favorite pictures. Do yourself a favor, look up the
I
picture.
just want to.
This is my little parting bit of wisdom. This is my call to action at the end of the show. Go look up the picture of the guy from Dinosaur Jr. buying a car. It's one of my favorite pictures on the internet. I don't know why. Anyway, goodbye, everyone.
Buying
Bye.
a car. Bye. I'm starting now.
Bye.
See you.